Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We've sat back and waited long enough. All of your favorites from A2D Radio join forces from around the world for this inaugural event. Welcome to the 2020 A2D Mock Draft.
What's up, family? This is A2D Radio, a little mock 2020 A2D Radio mock draft tonight. We're coming to you live from all our quarantine studios. And what we figured we'd bring you is a little semi-dress rehearsal to what we're going to bring you Thursday night when the draft kicks off here. Okay, so this is a little special. Myself, Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ritz, B. Willie, Jake Friel, Pete Evans in the house, and then back studio, Nick Giuliano, Dux Moranin, Ralph Delvecchio, Frank Vespi. So we got a jam-packed back part of the show for you, too. We're going to be rotating in. We're going to be giving you picks throughout, let's say, the first two rounds of the draft. The worst we do is maybe we end at 53 with the Eagles, but our goal is to go a full 2 rounds with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Andy. Andy's going to be running the show for us, giving us our picks. So every 2 minutes, just like sort of the NFL draft, you're going to have picks running in. We're going to give you who we think's going where, all right? And then obviously we're going to break down every pick that comes through. We're going to have highlight videos for you, our reaction to everything. So it's going to be a really fun show. We're brought to you by our doc, Make Him Yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Wherever you're listening at, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, comment in. We're reading off everything. We want to know where you guys got guys going, where you think. That's the most important thing in this show. We want to have fun with you guys, and we want your reactions. We want to crush general managers after every pick or praise them, whatever way it's going to go. But it's going to be a ton of fun, and it's sort of a little preview of what we're going to give you Thursday. We're going to be right back, same guys, rocking out the draft on Thursday. So exciting. We were getting ready for this during the day, boys. I actually thought we were about to go do the draft. I thought it was draft night. Started thinking like, we got draft night. It's draft night. No, it's Thursday, but this is just a little precursor to what's coming Thursday. So, boys, excited to be here. Excited to talk some NFL draft with you. And obviously, the first team on the clock is the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think a lot of us will sit here and assume that's where Joe Burrow is going to go. To me, if you ask me, I do believe that's where he's going to go, but I also believe it's a little bit of a reach. That's it. If you would ask me 4 months ago, and most scouts 4 months ago, Tua, hands down, the first pick of the draft, probably going with number 1. What's killed him isn't as much as the injury. It's people not being able to see him. It's doctors not being able to evaluate them. So that's going to scare some teams off. So I wonder when you talk about a guy like Tua, does he drop out of the top 10? We'll discuss that as the draft continues. But number 1, who are the Cincinnati Bengals taking, and give me a little bit of a reason why. To me, it's Burrow because, you know, what he did his senior year in college is so impressive. And a winner, I think it sort of sells them to him. That's why I think they take him. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know, my biggest worry about the kid, obviously going to the Bengals, is how the Cincinnati Bengals have been a team to where they haven't provided any situation to succeed for any players that have gone there over the last handful of years. So I'm worried about having a lot of, like we talk about, pro-type players, NFL caliber players on, you know, his team at LSU, obviously all of the success, and him having to quickly face adversity, which we know he's going to have to do numerous times. And I'm not even just talking about in the first year. I would say over the first handful of years when he's in Cincinnati. So I completely agree. I think we would all agree that he is going to be the pick at 1. The biggest question that follows is, how is he really going to be able to put the team on his back early and be able to face adversity? Because unlike, like we talked about before, you know, you look on past drafts, past quarterback drafts, you know, for example, you see a Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes. Those two were entering really good situations, especially like Mahomes, because he didn't have to start right away. Most likely, unless, you know, they make a swerve and they keep Andy Dalton and they're trying to put Burrow on ice, which I don't really see this happening. But they're going to ask a lot of Joe Burrow early, and they don't have a good offensive line. They have a lot of moving pieces. Obviously, A.J. Green is going to be his weapon, but he hasn't had the ability to stay on the field. So to me, it's going to show a lot about what he is early, And hey, if he's able to carry that team, I mean, nobody's expecting them to have playoff contention or anything, but we're going to find out very early his ceiling because of all the, like I said, the levels of adversity he's going to face.
Wells, number one pick, who the Bengals taking?
It's Joe Burrow to me. He's a kid from the area. Obviously, the biggest issue, I'm with Rye here. I actually disagree with you, Tommy. I do agree that Tua would have been the number one pick, but he gets hurt. Now he's had 2 injuries in basically 2 years at Alabama. The injuries scare me with Tua. And Burrow had such a great year. And Burrow is – the issue I have with Burrow is did he just find himself in the perfect situation in LSU? And, it seems like he did. But he's a winner, and I love his moxie. And he's from the area, and I think they definitely take him on Burrow 1.
Listen, I'll tell you one thing. Isn't missing confidence, right? We can say that about Joe Burrow. Definitely ain't missing confidence. And when you talk about
his moxie.
When you talk about the number one pick of the draft, you talk about the quarterback position. What's the difference maker, boys? It's always right up here. That's the difference maker.
I want the biggest dick in the room.
Right? Yeah, all these guys can make throws.
The confidence of that.
It's up here, and that's what changes the culture of a franchise. Jake, Cincinnati Bengals with number one. Who they taking?
Obviously, it's Joe Burrow. He had arguably the best college football season that we've ever seen from the quarterback position. 5,671 yards, 60 touchdowns, to just 6 interceptions. Now, obviously, to what Wilson was touching on earlier, I do believe he was in the perfect situation transferring from Ohio State, going into Joe Burrow's system. He had Clyde Edwards-Helaire running back, Jamar Chase at wide receiver, Justin Jefferson at wide receiver, and Thaddeus Moss at tight end. So obviously you're going to have a bunch of guys open, but also you saw a lot of just growth from him over the season compared to the previous season in 2018. You saw him just be more mobile in the pocket and just like his confidence. He's so much more confident now. And it just from this season, you can just see that he's a winner. And what you really want from a franchise quarterback, obviously, is just confidence and just being just, like I said earlier, just being a winner.
I think what really sells teams is the ability to extend plays.
Mm-hmm.
Leader of men, which he seems to be, which is good.
Yeah. Well, the whole league wants quarterbacks that can extend plays now. It's the whole league. So you can extend like he does. People fall in love with you too. Big arm, big body, the whole 9. Pete Evans, Cincinnati Bengals on the clock with the first pick. Who are they taking?
I mean, consensus pick is going to be Burrow. Like Will said, Brian said, he's a local kid from the area. But my biggest question is he was in Joe Brady's offense in LSU. Look at the talent he had around him. There's probably 5-6 other players from that offense that are going to get drafted on some point in time during the draft. So when you strip all that away, and there's a reason why the Bengals are picking number 1. They don't have a lot of talent. They don't have a lot of talent on that team. I mean, you have Joe Mixon. You don't know what you're going to get with A.J. Green. You got Tyler Boyd. You don't know what you're going to get with John Ross. So there's a reason why they're picking number 1. But just the expectations. And we all know that Cincinnati Bengals owner is one of the cheapest owners in the league. So if he's really looking for a payday at some point, even if Joe Burrow does get drafted by the Bengals, I'm not sure if they're going to re-up him. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if he's going to be there that long for a 5-10 year starter day one. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. I mean, the kid got skills, but if it was apples to apples and Tua was healthy, I think Tua overall is a better QB prospect, better thrower of the football. But like Will said, he can't stay healthy. He has durability issues. But overall, I definitely think the pick could be Burrow.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're all there. I just said, if Tua didn't get hurt the second time, I think he's a consensus number 1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. Too much talent. Granted, same situation, Alabama. Tons of talent around them, just like Burrow. So you can have the same conversation for both. I'm just getting word from the commish that the first pick of the 2020 A2D Radio mock draft is in.
And ladies and gentlemen, with the first pick of the 2020 A2D mock draft, it's naturally Joe Burrow to LSU. From LSU, quarterback.
To the Cincinnati Bengals.
To the Cincinnati Bengals, yeah.
Which the consensus run through here. We all assume that was going to happen, and we all assume that's going to happen Thursday as well. To me, I'm a big believer with the number 1 pick. I know you got to get your quarterback, but I'm the big believer in, hey, if I'm building a franchise back up from the ground up, I owe it to my team to take the most talented player in the draft. To me, I would have taken Chase Young at 1 if I was them. Too much impact. We saw the Niners. We saw other teams when they go early and get big-time defense ends how it works out for them. But here's Burrow. Here's why the Bengals love him. Here's why tons of scouts love him. Right there, right? Huge arm, ability to extend plays and throw a strike to Moss right there. I think that's what we love about him. You're going to watch another one right here, or just extension, right? Same one, I think, but same one. ability to extend plays, strong arm, and can make every throw in the book.
Is the concern, though, with Burrow going number one and only having that 1 year of production under him, is that a concern? Was it more Burrow's talent, or was it the what's the word I'm looking for? Was it the people around him that really made him better?
Well, I mean, it's Marcus Russell. You know what I mean? That's how I answer that one.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah. No, I think it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. It's the right time of Joe Brady coming in, bringing some of that pro football style offensive mentality, having the talent around him. But Joe Burrow had to make it happen because at the end of the day, it's the SEC. I mean, he had the biggest games. He was going against the defending champions in the championship game, and he balled out. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had talent around him, but there were some throws he had to make. And his decision making, his arm, he does have that package. It's just how much of it now that he really has to be the man. I mean, I don't know if he had to be the man in LSU on a good team, but you're going to be the man in that area. How much weight is going to be on your shoulders playing in front of your hometown, your home state?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to be the man. Not easy to be the man, but to be a senior in college and be the man, it's a little easier. Now you got to go be a leader of grown men. That's where it changes. Yes. Does he have the ability to that? I think he does. I think he has the confidence too. But he's not the most talented player in this draft. I think we can all agree on that one. But for the Bengals' need, it's the right pick. Jake, thoughts?
Yeah, obviously he's a hometown kid, Cincinnati. Obviously, I don't think it's necessarily where he would want to go, but at the same time, you can't argue when you're playing in front of your home crowd. Now, obviously, the Bengals, they're at number one for a reason, as we touched on earlier. They still need to get talent around them, still need to get wide receivers. So, obviously, I don't think we're going to see the Joe Burrow that we saw at LSU last season that won the national championship. You're going to see some growing pains just with the transfer to the NFL scheme and NFL offense, and obviously not having training camp potentially this year will hurt him, but I think just this is something that you're going to have to wait for over time. But you do have your franchise quarterback. You have a winning mentality, a leader of men. Great pick by Cincinnati.
Right pick by the Bengals here at 1.
Yeah, like I said, I think that he's going to face a lot of adversity early, but they need a quarterback, obviously a local kid. He had the most success. He doesn't have, obviously, the question marks that Tua does. So, yeah, it was the pick they needed to make.
Perfect. So, real quick, boys.
Can I hop in?
Oh, I thought I had you. My bad.
No, you didn't. Listen, to me, I love the pick. You got to make it, like you said, leader of men. And I actually kind of disagree a little bit with Pete and Jake. Not fully disagree. Obviously, they're not a very good team. But when healthy, they do have weapons. Joe Mixon, A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, they have weapons when healthy. I think that he might actually be pretty good next year. Obviously, he's going to go through some growing pains as any rookie quarterback does. And I do agree that Chase Young might be the guy that's going to be the best player in the draft. But to me, the quarterback is so important. It's the most important position in all sports. And if you can get a guy, you got to get a guy. So that's why Cincinnati's got to pick him. It's a good pick. I love the pick.
I agree. The only thing I disagree with you is nowadays it doesn't take quarterbacks time like it used to. Now guys can come in and play. So to me, if he's the number one pick of the draft, he can come in and play. Guys have been doing it. So it's going to be interesting to see. So now, obviously.
It's tough to win. It's tough to win early, though.
No, definitely.
You can put up numbers. But it's tough to win early.
Completely agree. Can't disagree with that one as much as I would love to with you. We'll get into that. But now we're moving on. Second pick of the A2D Radio mock draft will come from our own division rival, the Washington Redskins. So, boys, with the number 2 pick, quickly, who do the Redskins select it to? Easy.
Chase Young.
Yep, Chase Young.
I think Chase Young's got to be – everyone's got to say that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
the consensus.
Obviously, consensus, what we feel
like –
Good word. Is probably the most talented player and impactful day one player in this draft. I think we can all say that without a question. Maybe Simmons is right there with them, but Young, Simmons, the most impactful day one guys in terms of talent.
Maybe Akuda too, but yeah.
Yeah. So Young, you've seen what Bosa did in the NFL, both of them in year one. I think you're going to have that same impact, boys, from Chase Young. Mm-hmm. I truly do. I hate this pick as an Eagles fan because what you just did to this defensive line is Montez Sweat, okay? You have Jonathan Allen up there. You have Ryan Kerrigan, and now you add Chase Young, right? We saw what the San Francisco 49ers were able to build up front, right, boys? Mm-hmm. We were able to see what the Niners were able to build up front and their ability to get to the quarterback. This scares me when now my division rival just got big time better because they got the best player in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on Chase Young, boys?
Now, obviously, with Chase Young, like Tom said, and I completely agree, he's the best player in this draft, and just how filthy that this Redskins defensive line is going to be. It's going to be a sack machine. It's going to be a sack factory, however you want to put it. It's going to give quarterbacks issues. Obviously, their cornerback situation isn't necessarily the best, but when you have a defensive line as good as this right now, you can kind of cover that up with this defensive line. Great pick by the Redskins.
When you can go get him, Pete, then Willie, and we'll finish with Rocky.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? If you're the Eagles now, your offensive line can't have an off year. You can't do it. You have to have the best offensive line you can have all the time, and every year in and year out. And watch the Redskins, like Jake just said, cornerback, secondary doesn't need that much. I mean, you need a player. They still got Landon Collins back there. They still got Fabian Moreau. But when you look at this player, Chase Young, Hall of Fame level talent, generational talent. You talk about Nick Bosa, you talk about Joey Bosa. They all say this kid is better. This kid has it. He has it more than the Bosa brothers. And when you put him on Montez Sweat, second year for Montez Sweat, defensive line, they got Ryan Kerrigan, a veteran to learn from. They're going to be a problem, boys. They're going to definitely be a problem.
I'll make a prediction right now. I'll go on the record right now. I will go on the record right now. The Washington Redskins, with that addition, if that front stays healthy, they're an issue. They're a flat-out issue in this division. They become a potential like 8-8, 9-7 possible playoff team if they can play D. And with Ron Rivera there and the addition of Chase Young, I don't like this one bit for Eagles fans. Not one bit. Wills, sorry, brother. I didn't mean
you hopped in right there. You hopped in.
No, I was in the show here, man. I gotta hop in.
Ron Rivera, and the defensive line they have scares me, especially with Carson's injury history. You know, it scares me. But it's a great pick for them, for the Redskins. I don't like it as an Eagles fan. It's a great pick for the Redskins because the way you win in this league, like we always said, is you win up front. You win on the D line, you win on the O line. You got to keep your quarterback fucking from getting hit, and you got to hit the other quarterback. So it's a great pick. The dude's extremely talented, and thank God their quarterback stinks because else I'd be more worried.
And you know, on top of that too, Wilson, you know, we talk about it a lot. You know, it seems like there's a storyline in every division. You know, in the North, it was Aaron Rodgers. You know, obviously in the AFC West, it's Patrick Mahomes. And then you have that team that's kind of at the top. And then obviously in the NFCs, it's the Eagles. And the other three teams, they're just trying to figure out how to stop that top team. Well, to everyone's point here, it's stopping Carson Wentz. So how do you stop Carson Wentz? Obviously, you bring in a D-line and obviously somebody like Chase Young to build off of that. Tom, I completely agree with you. And Pete, you hit the nail right on the head. The offensive line, not only this year, but going forward, as long as Chase Young is in a Redskins uniform, they need to be on top of their game. So thank God Howie Roseman values the trenches, because if not, we might be in a big situation here, and that's not for the betterment of Carson Wentz.
Nope, not at all. So, boys, now we're going to segue, obviously, to the third pick of the draft, and that is the Detroit Lions, who have, to me, plenty of needs. So when we talk about the Detroit Lions, who are they taking at 3?
If I'm them, I'm taking Isaiah Simmons. Give Matt Patricia, who's a so-called defensive genius, you give him a positionless player, and you can put him anywhere on the field and just create havoc.
Jake?
I love Isaiah Simmons. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You're already in.
Yeah, go.
I love Isaiah Simmons. He's all over the field. But I think for them, I would go Jeff Okudah, cornerback.
Mm-hmm. Same with me. I agree with Will. Just due to the fact that the Lions recently just traded Darius Slay to the Eagles for a 3rd and a 5th. You got to replace that stud cornerback, that lockdown cornerback, Jeff Okudah, in my opinion. Obviously, Isaiah Simmons is a phenomenal player, but Jeff Okudah, I think, is the no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's going to be Okudah. Succession plan for Slay. Obviously, it was kind of written on the wall the last, I would say, year or two that Slay was going to be out. So obviously they put a lot of research into a guy like Okudah, and I think it's almost perfect timing for them. You have Slay that moves out, and then you have a top 3, top 4 pick in Okudah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Simmons here. I think, talking about the second best player in the draft, I think he goes here. Go about the Lions, and for Eagles fans, I hope he doesn't go to the Giants. So let's pray. Just got a word from the commish. The 3rd pick of the 2020 A2D Radio mock draft is in.
And with the 3rd pick, the Detroit Lions select
Number 3.
Jeffrey Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State.
No surprise there, boys. You know, I mean, we talked Simmons, we talked Okudah. It was one of the two. And going and filling a need. You guys are right. The loss of Slay. Obviously, Matt Patricia goes out and gets his guy and a guy who can be left on islands. And you look at a little bit of him right here. You know, just a guy who makes plays on the ball, too. You know, just a ball hawk as well. So I really like Okudah a lot. I know some people might even say, like, Henderson might have some more upside than him. But a guy who a tremendous football player, and I think the Lions got a guy for the next 8 to 10 years here.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
He might not have the highest ceiling of corners in the draft, but I think he comes in and he's a good player from day one. And I love my favorite thing about him is he's very mature, and I love his answer when he got it's famous now. It's all over at the combine when the one dude said about his lack of or like discipline on penalties, and he said, I didn't have a holding penalty or a pass interference penalty all season. Bang! I love a guy that can come right at somebody like that. Love it.
Love it.
Great pick.
So my question, though, is if the Darius Slay trade doesn't happen, do you still take a cornerback in your first pick?
No.
I think
No.
they probably
No.
if not.
I go Simmons.
It did happen.
But this is
Well, no,
why
I know it did happen. I'm saying had it not happened.
this is why teams get caught, though.
No.
This is why teams get caught, right? I mean, you draft for need. Not that there's anything wrong with Okudah, but you draft for need, and you don't draft the best player on a lot of teams' big boards. I mean, they're close, but I think a lot of people will tell you Simmons way more impactful.
Mm-hmm.
I think Okudah's really good though, Tommy. And to me, it's a passing league. And in your division, not that I really think that Kirk's very great, but you got some good quarterbacks and obviously Aaron, and you got to stop the pass. So I'm okay with this pick. I like Okudah a lot.
Yeah. To be honest, real quick before we move to number 4, if the Detroit had their way, I really think they would want to trade down. I think they want to trade out of the spot because I think they could still possibly get a. So that means if somebody's coming up to 3, they're coming up for a QB, which means wherever they're going, there's a chance that they can still grab Okudah or Simmons. So you never know.
Hey, don't be surprised.
I do agree with that. To me, the big thing on this is who does the Chargers? Who do the Chargers want at 6, and do they think Miami will take them at 5?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because then the Chargers might hop. They might hop.
Real quick, we're going to the next pick in a second. Give our predictions on who's going to the Giants at 4. But real fast, don't be surprised. It would not shock me if the Detroit Lions, though, went with a future quarterback. Just the way
I was just going to say that. Yep.
Would not surprise me if they went that direction. So with the 4th pick of the NFL draft, the Giants are on the board. This is sort of what we didn't want to see happen at 4. We didn't want to see Young go to the Giants or the Redskins, and we didn't want to see Simmons go to the Giants. I think it's Simmons. Boys, who goes 4 to the Giants?
I mean, realistically, again, we're talking about Dave Gettleman. If you're smart, you're going to take Isaiah Simmons, best player available on the board. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if it's Jedrick Willis. I would not be surprised, Jedrick Willis out of Alabama, just knowing how much of a need they do need at offensive tackle. It wouldn't shock me, but I think realistically, if Dave Gettleman just sticks to the board, I'm going to go Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, to me, there's only 2 options here. It's either you take Simmons, who's obviously the best position. He's the best player left on the board, I would, at least in my opinion, or you trade out of here. And to me, I don't even care. Like, listen, if there's a crazy offer to trade out, then sure, you do it. But a guy like Simmons, if he's available to you, I'm just staying right there and I'm taking the best player on the board.
Everybody roll that
For
one?
me,
I'm with Jake. I think Simmons is the best player on the board. I totally agree, but I think that they just drafted their franchise QB. They need offensive line help.
Yep.
Washington's probably taking Chase Young in front of them. I think that there's a good chance that they go a line. And you said Jedrick Wills. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Tristan Wirfs. To me, they're the top 2 tackles, and I just depends who you like more. So I think I wouldn't be shocked if it was tackle. That's all I'm saying.
Pete?
Yeah, I'm right there. I mean, we talked about it before we came on. Tackle, you got to protect Danny Dimes. You got Saquon back there, so you got 2 investments. And then, like we said, Chase Young just went ahead of you on a team that you have to see 2 times a year. And you talk about, we all know how valuable it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, Simmons is talented. But if you tell me I can get my left tackle for the next 8 to 10 years, that's I can go to bed at night as a GM and not have to worry about that.
Spot on. Now we're going to see with the 4th pick. It is in The Giants have made their selection.
With the 4th pick in the A2D mock draft, the New York Giants select Isaiah Simmons, outside linebacker from Clemson.
Really, I mean, surprise, but no surprise. Talent-wise, no surprise. Maybe need-wise, like you boys were talking about, offensive tackle, probably the smarter pick there to protect your franchise quarterback. I believe maybe in the other draft they go there. But in terms of talent, they might have got the second best player on the board, talent-wise, at 4. So somebody we got to see now twice a year. And if you look at the draft right in front of you, you had young Simmons now inside the NFC East. So a little bit here was Isaiah Simmons and just his ability. I mean, a flat out freak. I mean, you're talking about that's a linebacker doing that, making that kind of play right there.
Dude's a star. He's a star.
Then you're running the guy over. So now you're picking a ball off and running the guy over. It's just amazing. So Isaiah Simmons to the New York Giants. Boys, I think it's a great pick by the Giants. Thoughts? And then we'll get on to who we think is going 5th.
For them, I like it. You look at James Beecher's offense. Remember, there was an Arizona offense when they were prime, and he was blitzing left and right. He had players that he could send anywhere. And Simmons, you could put him anywhere. So listen, man, Carson's head got to be on the swivel. That's how it relates to us.
Yeah, obviously this is going to be a problem. Obviously for everyone in the NFC East, the sideline to sideline player. Can rush the passer as well. Just the amount of speed that he has at his size, 238 pounds, 6'4". It's just realistically, it's not fair.
No doubt at all.
By the way, I want to say real quick, what's up to everybody that's commenting in. We see everybody. We're trying to keep it moving, so we're not going to say what's up to everybody, but what's up, everybody? We love you. Keep commenting, and I think it's a great pick. Listen, I'm an ACC guy. I'm a Syracuse fan. Everybody knows this. Isaiah Simmons, number 11. If you watch Clemson the last 3 years, you've seen number 11. He's all over the fucking field. So that's all you got to say. I mean, it's a great pick. I'm happy that they don't take an offensive tackle. Hopefully, we can still get to Danny Dimes, and it doesn't affect us that much. Hopefully, but the dude's a stud.
So my question, and we'll kind of transition into the fact that the Dolphins are on the clock, right? If you're the Dolphins, do you take a quarterback here, or do you focus more on, a running back? Or where do you guys think they're going to pick?
They're taking a QB.
I think the Dolphins are taking Tua right here.
Yep.
Think Tua?
They're taking a quarterback for sure.
We all good on Tua?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's Herbert in the real draft.
Yep, they've done a lot of research. I
wouldn't be shocked if it's Herbert in the real draft because they like Herbert apparently. I wouldn't be shocked, and Tua's got the injury history. Mm-hmm. But in this simulator, I would think it's probably Tua.
Yep, I agree.
Who you got? You got somebody different?
It could be Tua, it could be Herbert, but once again, you go if you look at Miami right now, you look at their roster. Tell me who their tackles are. I mean, it's at some point.
You're right.
You have 3 picks in this draft. You have 3 picks in the first round. You have 5, 18, and 20 something. Mm-hmm. You can still come back at 18 and get Jordan Love because they already got Chrome's boy. Chrome loves himself some Brian Fitzmagic. So I mean, you go with him another year, but you get that tackle. You got 3 picks. You can really Chris Greer can really mess this draft up, or he can hit with these 3 first round picks.
So true. So I'm just getting word from the commish. Dolphins are in with the 5th pick at A2D Radio mock draft.
The Miami Dolphins select Tua, quarterback out of Alabama.
And I think that's where they go.
Tagovailoa is the last name there.
Mm. Oh, okay. I wasn't even going to try and butcher that.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Sure. I think that's exactly where they go Thursday too. I mean, I think that's spot on. I think they liked them. I think they've liked them for not only just last year, but the year before. I think they've had their eye on him for a minute. Now the injury concerns, we're going to see how they feel about that comes Thursday and other teams. But in terms of the simulator, in terms of talent, in terms of being able to make every throw on the field, the kid can flat out do it. So
now my question for you guys, and obviously for the fam at home, now that they still have Fitzpatrick and for all the Josh Rosen people, they still have him, somewhere in the locker room if they haven't hid him in a friggin' shoe closet yet. Do you think there's any chance Tua plays any meaningful minutes or any meaningful games in the first season? Or do you think they'll kind of put him on ice and wait, an extra year?
They'll probably try to lose again and get more talent.
It wouldn't shock me.
If they do, it wouldn't be by choice. It wouldn't be by choice. I think something drastic had to happen for Tua to have to play.
What's the benefit
I think he'll
of
play.
icing him?
I think he will play. I think he'll play.
Yeah, I think he will play too.
He's looked good. He's looked good, and it's still 4 months out to the start of the season. I think he'll play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and plain and simple, me personally, I love the pick. Obviously, injuries are a huge concern, but just look at the numbers real quick. Just in like the handful of games that he played this year, he only had 2,840 yards passing, but he had 33 touchdowns, 33 touchdowns, just to 3 interceptions. So when this kid is healthy, he's a player, and he's a winner, and he's shown that. So I think it's a great pick for the Dolphins.
I do too. Everybody go with that pick?
I mean, he stepped in. Let's just put it this way: he stepped in as a freshman at halftime of the national fucking championship game while they were losing and led them to the win. That's all you really need to say about the guy. Now, the injury history is a problem, and we'll all admit it. And the hip injury looked bad, but he seems to be okay. He's moving well. The video of him running and throwing, he looks pretty good. So if he's healthy, I mean, shit, if he's healthy, he could be the best player in the draft just because of his quarterback stature and how important the quarterback is.
Mm-hmm. All right, now moving on here with the 6th pick, a team that could go quarterback as well. The Chargers, quickly, boys, who are they taking? I'm going to say Justin Herbert.
I'm gonna say Herbert as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Herbert. The only way I don't see that happening is if they truly still believe in Tyrod Taylor, and if that's the case, they're gonna go Wirfs. But nah, this is Herbert. They've been connected to him far too long.
I wouldn't be shocked if Taylor starts, but I think they go Herbert for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. So word from the commish. The Chargers pick is in.
With the 6th pick in the A2D mock draft, the Chargers select Justin Herbert.
Wow.
Yep. Quarterback out of Oregon.
Clean board. Listen, I mean, there's issues with him, obviously, but big, strong, can make all the throws, but inconsistency. I think that's goes throughout his whole college career, is ups and downs. So we're going to find out at the next level. But in terms of the prototypical big body guy who can make every throw, can move around in the pocket, I mean, Herbert's that guy. So, I mean, talent-wise, he's worthy of a top 5 pick, but inconsistency makes it a little bit of reach at 5'2".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great pick for the Chargers. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor isn't going to be too happy about it. But again, when you get your guy, theoretically, when you believe your guy's on the board, you can't pass up on him. Again, inconsistencies are an issue, but you get the right coaching staff around him. The players are there, and Keenan Allen, and you have a couple other guys there as well. Obviously, running back is a question mark, but we'll see. But right now, it's a great pick for the Chargers.
Sweeps chimes in on the text line. He says, not even Tyrod Taylor's mom believes in him. Chargers definitely their quarterback. I'm just going to say I agree, Sweeps. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Uncle Sweeps! It's a good pick. It's a good pick, but has everything. Like you said, Tommy, big arm, big body. You know, people thought he was going to be the number 1 pick 2 years ago. They're like, when he comes out, he's going to be a number 1 pick. He's not, because he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? I like winners. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't care. I like winners. To me, he's a lot of Jay Cutler to me. He's got a lot of Jay Cutler to me.
Okay.
The guy that's got everything but never fucking won.
Right.
And so that makes me nervous. But we'll see what happens.
So you guys keep saying it's a good pick. What would have made it a great pick? You know, sitting in the 6th position, knowing that Burrows went number 1 and Tua went right before you, what would have made that a great pick?
Well, obviously, if you
I think it's straight up and you take Tua.
I don't know if I do that.
No, here's the thing too. I don't think it's.
I think Tua's better.
I don't think it's a great pick, because getting a guy like Herbert, again, unless you believe that he's going to start day 1, it doesn't help a team that is 1 or 2 is basically a quarterback away from being. I mean, you see up and down their roster, they don't have a lot of holes at all. So to me,
I mean, they're in good shape.
They do have one. That's the tackle position. That's, to me, that's what made it a great pick.
Yes.
If they go Jedrick Wills, there are Tristan Wirfs there at number 6. What you say is, listen, Anthony Lynn, we all know his pedigree. He was in Buffalo, running backs coach, had the best running attack in the league. Mm-hmm. Austin Eckler last year. Who would have seen Austin Eckler have that type of production? And now you're going to have Tyrod Taylor, who is a dual threat quarterback, whether he's good or not. You have that. You add a tackle to that. The defense is already set. You got Derwin James coming back. You already got Joey Bosa on the team. and you also got Melvin Ingram on the team. So
Melvin
you don't need a lot, but that's also what would make it good for Herbert. I understand you don't have the tackle, but you have a quarterback. If he comes in and he happens to win the job or play at some point, a coaching staff is not going to ask him to do a lot.
Boys, with the seventh
And
pick.
they do have weapons, too. They do have weapons. It's not a bad situation to go into if you're Herbert because they do have weapons. Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, they got weapons.
Yeah.
They definitely have weapons. So now with the seventh pick of the draft, the Tampa Bay Bucks up on the clock. Quickly, boys, who the Bucks taking at 7? I think it's Wills.
Who's on the clock?
It's the Panthers.
Panthers.
It's the Panthers.
What am I looking at?
I have no idea.
I thought it was a trade or something. I'm about to say
I'm sitting here looking at the board and like, what happened?
On this stupid mock draft I'm looking at, they actually have a trade, which is ridiculous. And
I can see this though. If Wills and Wirfs are still on the board at 7,
you got Carolina.
Carolina has clearly shown that they are in rebuild mode. Everything goes through CMC. I can see somebody coming up to get a tackle of that ilk. If Jedrick Wills or Tristan Wirfs are still on the board at this pick.
And I think even if it does stay, that's going as the Panthers, I think they take Wills. It's funny. What a terrible mock draft. Like the wrong one. So Wills, quickly, boys, who you got them taking?
I'm going to go Derrick Brown, defensive tackle. They've lost a lot of pieces on defense. Again, I think obviously you see of all the pieces that they're now missing out on defense, you're getting somebody who's legit like Derrick Brown. I think it's an easy pick.
Yeah, I'm right with Ryan. I'm right with Ryan.
Yeah, I just don't think offensive line, the two best tackles keep falling this far. Just the way the league goes. That's the only reason I would think that they would say, you know what, he's the best tackle on the board. We're going to take it and go to bed. But the 7th pick, Panthers are in.
And with the 7th pick of the A2D mock draft, the Carolina Panthers select Derrick Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn.
Thank you, Ricky.
Stud.
And a great pick.
Stud.
You know, not a bad pick at all. He dominated in the SEC.
Right.
A moose. And you know how you went up front in this league. So for the Panthers, good solid foundation piece for that moving forward.
Yeah, it's just going to be an issue. And again, you need someone just to be a leader and take over on that defensive line. Derrick Brown, for me, it's an easy pick. Great pick by the Panthers.
Yeah.
Tommy, just a heads up for you. I don't know if it's just me, but you're breaking up a little bit on my end. But yeah, Derrick Brown's a great pick. I think stud D lineman. I think it's a great pick for them.
Yeah, I mean, every time you watch Bama games, he shows up all day. You know he's on the field.
Yeah.
You know, you can't run from seeing him all stinking day.
He's a large human being.
What I'm going to tell you,
move very fast.
And going right to the, we can go right to the next pick here because there's no way Wills falls past the 8th pick of this draft.
Oh, this is Wills or Wirfs, depending on who you like more, in my opinion.
Right.
This is Wills or Wirfs.
There's no way it falls Arizona, right? I'm not going to mess that one up.
Depends on who you
Arizona.
like more, but it's Wills or Wirfs. Wills or Wirfs.
Another trade. It's just not there.
Another magical trade? No.
It's going to be the freaking Patriots.
They just took their QB last year. They need no linemen. They just took Kyler last year. They need a guy that's going to be there protecting him for a decade. And
I completely
that's
agree.
why you go Wills or Wirfs to me.
If that's the case, look at that air raid offense. And this is where I think Wills is a better prospect overall. The workout that Wirfs put on at the combine, and you talking about athleticism, to put them with Kyler Murray, Nuke, you got Kenyon Drake there. If that's what they're looking for in Kingsbury and Arizona, I would not be surprised if the pick here is Wirfs over Wills.
But what's more important, right?
I like Wirfs.
Do you create a bubble for your quarterback, right? That protection barrier? Or do you build up your defense that's been pretty strong already? Do you lay a foundation there?
I think you're blindside guy.
To me, it's just the two best players left in the draft maybe are both the O linemen. So that's why you got to go with one of them here. It's the need, and it's also probably the best player on the board.
And guess what? Saying that, Cardinals pick is in. They're moving quick. They must know who they want.
With the 8th pick in the A2D mock draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Andrew Thomas.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Wow! Wowzers!
Out of Georgia. Here we go.
I gotta get the strobe.
Oh my
Why aren't you on cue?
Oh, it's ready. It's here.
Be on top of that, Brodo.
Wow.
Potentially our first semi-reaches of the draft with not even the best.
Andrew Thomas.
That's a reach. To me, that's a reach.
on the board.
That's a reach and a half.
Yeah, I
Good.
don't like that at
Wow.
all.
To me, I have him fourth.
I have him
falling.
I have him at the Bucks pick at 14.
Yeah, I have him third.
I'm saying I have him as my fourth
Mhm.
lineman.
Yeah, I have him like third. So I
Yeah.
mean, right around there.
Hmm.
Not far off, but guess what? I mean,
Kind of shocked. I mean, if you love the guy, if you're them and you love the guy, you get your guy. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But to me, this has Danny Watkins smell to it.
it does. And guess what though? You know what this says though? You know, the next pick is the New York Jets, correct?
No.
No, it's the Jaguars. They just-
No, it's the
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yep, I'm looking.
Jags.
The Jaguars. But this tells me right now that the Jaguars now go Wills probably. They probably go
Yes.
left tackle.
So the question though is, if they don't go with Tristan, why is he falling so far down the line?
I think it's been
That-
need. It's been need for me, but also that Andrew Thomas threw me for a loop because I think Wirfs and Wills are both better.
They're way
So
better.
That throws me for a loop.
Mhm.
But I mean, to me, it's need because O tackles. You need O tackles, but a lot of guys up high in this draft need quarterbacks, and then you got those 3 stud defenders. They're going to go. So
In my opinion, this is with the Jags. It's either going to be Wirfs or they try to get cute and they either go Henderson or friggin' Judy.
Mhm.
But I don't think they're in a
I
position
wouldn't
to
be
do.
shocked if they went receiver. I would
But
not
do they
be
need a
shocked.
receiver?
Yeah.
I mean, I got
Yes,
needs for them.
They do.
Do they?
Yeah, that's a big need. And for me, I have them selecting Jerry Jeudy. Obviously, offensive line is an issue, but right now, I think the Jets will go receiver, and my receiver going off the board is Jerry Jeudy.
They shouldn't go. They shouldn't get cute here, but I could really see them trying to do it.
Yeah. And they try to outdo themselves. Smart money is because they do have the 20th pick in the draft as well. Is you essentially your starting left tackle
Mm-hmm.
fell into your lap.
Absolutely.
Okay, here you go. Here you go,
Right.
Bell.
Yep.
This is the pick.
I think it's a no-brainer, but the pick is in from the Jags. Let's see where they go with the 9th pick of the NFL draft.
At number 9, the Jacksonville Jaguars pick. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it.
Makai Becton, no.
Makai Becton.
Out
What?
of
You know what this was? You know how when people like summarize moments in time and they say BC or AD? This is
That's
B.
my third.
This is BDT,
Wow.
before drug test. That's what this mock draft is. It's before
Wow.
drug test. There's no shot
He
he's
was
getting taken.
my third line.
Yeah, no.
I don't get it.
Wills and Wirfs. Thomas and Becton over Wills and Wirfs. This is great.
The Browns
I
better
don't
not
get
screw
it.
this up. The Browns
don't get
are
it.
the Browns are damn.
No shot that happens. No shot.
No.
Everybody's all these.
It's
I will-
remember, it's the Jaguars. It's the Jaguars. It could fucking happen.
And guess what,
The
boys?
Jaguars.
Guess
It's the
what?
Cardinals. So
Guess what? Jerry Judy's still available. He's still here.
still on the board. Hopefully by the time
Calm
we
down.
come back
Calm down on the Judy train because I'm not on it.
before we shift off to the other guys. Hopefully when we come back, he's still on the board. So that's
Yes.
the goal.
We'll
Pray
see.
for Judy. Pray for him, family. All the receivers still on the board right now.
Give me Ruggs.
Going
Give me
into pick
Ruggs.
10. So that's going to do it for us, boys. But we're going to bring in Uncle Jules, Lil Ralphie D, Frank Vespi, A2D Radio, Draft Junkie / I'll give him expert, Charles Moranin. So we got a bunch of guys jumping on here.
Sucks.
So we're going to do a little switch out, and we're going to see you in 9 picks.
All right, there goes him. Bye, Pete. Bye, Pete. I gotta find you,
Peace.
Pete.
So I got Jules, Chucks, guys. While we're bringing everybody else in, give me a recap. What do you guys think happened in those first 9 picks? What are your thoughts?
Well, the Andrew Thomas is what are we doing? You know, Andrew Thomas, that's just freaking crazy to me.
Ralphie didn't have
Big
any
time
film on
reach
the
right
guy.
there. What'd you say, Jules?
So you didn't have no film on the guy. It was such a reach.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's a big time reach right there. Andrew
I
Thomas.
I told Ralphie to pull up for the O-line, and I told him just to find a generic friggin' sumo wrestler film, but he wouldn't do it. And just put the friggin' faces on the guys.
So knowing that the Browns are coming in at number 10, guys, right? Where do the Browns start? Seeing who's still left on the board.
Offensive line.
They need everything.
It's offensive line for me,
Offensive
man.
line all day. I mean, have you seen? I know Tom's boy. Baker Mayfield wasn't that great in 2019, but he also was running for his life every second. So they have to go offensive line. They have to give him some protection.
Yep.
They need to build there. And if somehow by some miracle, and I doubt it happens, if Jedrick Wills and Tristan Wirfs are there available, they are running to the not running to the podium. They can't get
shooting it in real fast
soon enough.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be one of them.
Yeah, this is Tristan Wirfs, man. I mean, the fact that he's still around, the Browns, I don't even think the Browns can friggin' screw this up.
The only other way I could see the Browns screw this up is if they go for a reach, possibly go defense on this one. They also do need help on defense, but right now, with Wirfs and Wills both on the board, they got to take one of those two.
Right, but they also still need wide receivers. Could you see them taking Judy here?
Nah, they don't need a wide receiver.
No.
They don't need a wide receiver.
No, as it stands right now, they've got OBJ and they've got Landry still.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I just go by my notes. All right.
Well, you're just asking the questions. I hear you, Andy. You're good.
Yeah, and the only other way they can screw this up is if they do what they did a handful of years ago and they forgot to call the pick in. If they forget to pick it up.
They forgot to call it picking.
Oh God.
Yeah, they tried getting what was that guy's name?
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, and they forgot to call the league.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's not amazing. It's just the Cleveland Browns.
It's
same thing.
It's the most Browns thing ever. So,
all right, gentlemen, it seems like our next pick is in. And with the 10th pick, the A2D mock draft, the Cleveland Browns select Tristan Wirfs, tackle out of Iowa.
They took the best offensive lineman on the board there, Chucks, and it's a great fit because they need them.
Perfect.
I think it's to me it's a toss up between Wirfs and Wills. I don't care who you have. I personally like Wills, but it's you're splitting hairs. Like they both had phenomenal combine athletic testing, and they're both they're both top tier offensive tackles. And an offensive tackle being a premier position in this league, you can't go wrong with either one of them. So I'm not gonna nitpick over which one I'd rather have. So this is the right pick, either Wills or Wirfs.
Yeah, and obviously you have Jack Conklin on the right side. You place Wirfs on the left side. You're good to go. Hopefully Baker can stay up this time coming.
Absolutely.
So now again, the fact that you have one of the guys out of Wirfs and Wills now gone, do the Jets just completely follow this up and take the remaining guy that's available, and that's Wills? Or do they go receiver?
I think they do.
I think they do.
It's tough for me. If I'm the Jets, I got to give Sam Darnold another toy to play with, man. I have to. Mm-hmm. I have to give him a wide receiver. I know the offensive line is somewhat of a need, but having Judy and Lamb and Ruggs still there, even at 11, I would go wide receiver here. I would.
I think it's possible either offensive tackle or wide receiver. And to me, it's one of those things where I don't think it's a bad idea either way. I think they have to go either one of them. They're both a position of need. I can see the argument for offensive tackle, but again, like just what he said, I mean, Robbie Anderson's not there anymore. So they need a wide receiver. I mean, they have Perriman, but are you really going to rely on him to be the guy after he had only 4 or 5 good weeks in 2019? So they need weapons they need support for Darnold, so I can understand the need for wide receiver as well.
Also, Chucks, they still have Quincy Enunwa still there, correct?
They still do.
Yep. So is he still there? Yeah. So they have him.
I think they also have.
How many more times can you rely on him? You know?
Yeah, and you have Crowder too.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to ask yourself. I mean, what's more important? You want to protect Sam Darnold, or do you want to get him a weapon? I mean, like we've been talking about all throughout the draft offseason, how deep this wide receiver class is, but they legitimately have their pick for one of those three.
Yeah.
Well, Jules, to answer your question, I agree. Between obviously protecting him and getting a weapon, but couldn't I argue that protecting him is the most important weapon?
Yeah.
Like that's a weapon in itself.
No, absolutely. That's why, to me, I would if one of those offensive tackles fell, if Wills fell to the Jets at 11, I'm taking them.
Yep. I agree. And I'm rooting for it as an Eagles fan, too.
I'm hoping for offensive tackle. Gives us a better chance to get one of those wide receivers.
Yeah. Howie better be making calls right now.
Tackle.
All right, gentlemen, it looks like the 11th pick is in, and with the 11th pick of the A2D mock draft, the New York Jets select Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
And
There it
the
is.
final
I saw this
wide
coming a
receiver.
mile away.
We got him a toy.
Boom.
And Sam Darnold's still going to see some ghosts.
Just to go see some ghosts.
So how does this change the dynamic of the draft, let alone what you guys were thinking, right? Because this is obviously, we've had a few different, unexpected picks. Is this unexpected, or is this exactly what the Jets should have done?
No, it's expected. It's expected.
Yeah, I think
Expected.
I've said that I think 11 with the Jets is where if everyone stays, like if there's no major trade, I think 11 of the Jets is where you're going to start to see the run on wide receivers. I think it's very possible it goes 11, 12, 13, bang, 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 wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver.
Yes.
I'm not surprised with this at all.
And
It's going to start off. It's going
Wills
to
is
send
still
off.
on the board, boys.
Yeah.
Wills
yeah.
is still on the board.
Wills on the board, and now
Tampa Bay's at
Wills on the
14.
board.
They call Vegas and say, you know what? We'll give you 3 firsts to move up, because that's how Tampa Bay works. You try to go all in for Tom Brady for these past 2 years. You need offensive line help, and the offense, and Wills is still on the board.
Something must have happened with Wills, man. He's dropping. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I know. Maybe the simulator thought that Wills failed the drug test. Maybe they got to confuse.
Maybe one of them has like a Laramie Tunkel video or something.
Oh yeah, gas mask.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but Andy, to answer your question, I think it's going to set off a chain reaction now. I think that if the Jets would have gone O-line and all 3 or to some people, the top 4, including Jefferson, would still be there, I think people I think it could have worked 2 ways. It either would have started off a chain reaction, or it would have caused people to start trading up from way back because all 4 of them are still there heading into the 12th pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally agree. I think if once Thursday comes, if it's the way it's going right now, I think there's going to be a lot of movement in the first round.
I think we can all agree, though, this is the part of the draft from about 11 to around 15, 16 to where all hell is probably going to break loose.
Yeah,
It's a
lot of
bubble
movement
right here.
And remember, the Jets can also potentially trade Jamal Adams to get another first-round pick in the middle.
That's correct.
So real quick, guys, just around the room. I don't necessarily need a why, but Chucks, I'm going to start with you. You're Las Vegas. You've got the 12th pick in the NFL draft. Who you taking?
Taking CeeDee Lamb.
Brodo?
Lammer, CeeDee Lamb.
Mr. Jules?
If Lamb is there, I'm taking him.
Vespi?
Lamb.
And Ralph?
I'm going to go Lamb here. Easy pick.
They have no receivers on that team.
Yeah, none.
All right, so let's see. With the 12th pick of the A2D mock draft, the
Eagles
Las
straight.
Vegas
Eagles straight.
Raiders take
Eagles straight.
CJ Henderson, cornerback out of Florida.
They do need help in the secondary as well. So, I mean, once again, I, for one, welcome our computer overlords. So, I mean.
Shout out to Rob Povey, who actually called that in the comments.
Yeah. Definite surprise right there. Thought they would go receiver, but, I mean, we'll see what happens on the actual draft.
So why do you not take a receiver here? Right? For a moment, let's assume this isn't a computer simulation and they actually do take a cornerback. Why would you choose not to take somebody like CeeDee Lamb?
Well, I mean, cornerback is one of the top 3 premier positions in the league.
Yep.
So when you have a talent like CJ Henderson, and especially in a conference that they're in, with good receivers and good quarterbacks, why not?
For 2 reasons, Andy, or actually 3. Number 1, because Patrick Mahomes is in your division, you have to play him twice.
Yep. Yeah.
2, maybe, especially under this scenario, maybe their guy was Jeudy, and they value Jeudy way higher than anybody else, and they see, especially a guy like Mayock, to where he's all about quantity of picks, and they have a pick coming up, I believe 18 or 19,
They
where-
have it the 19th. Yeah.
Yep.
So they say, oh, maybe we can get a Jefferson there who we like, but we're not going to take, obviously, with the 12th pick. Or they say, okay, this is a wide receiver loaded draft. We could take one later in a later round, for example. So I think it's a combination of those three.
Yeah, it could be. Good points by you guys, and I think you're forgetting one really, really good point because they already have Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one.
On that note,
Yeah.
right.
In all seriousness, like they do have Tyrell Williams and they'd like Hunter Renfrow, so I can see that like wide receiver isn't as big of a need for them as corner, so I can understand. And with Henderson, I think we've been hearing a lot that Henderson, with some teams or some people, they value they see Henderson as a better prospect than Okudah. I'm not saying I necessarily agree, but I can understand where that's coming from because with Henderson, he did it in the SEC, and he did it with he's someone who is an absolute elite level athlete, even a better athlete than Okudah all around. Now, what are his knocks is that sense of physicality and tackling issues. So that's the thing about him. Now, you go back to 2018, he didn't really have those issues. So you're wondering, did he make more so business decisions in his final year in college to make sure he didn't get as hurt? And do you take that as like a competitive red flag or just him wanting to be safe? How do you interpret that? So it's a matter of how much did they see this as he's just way too good to not
pass up, yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So guys, I've got word. Your San Francisco 49ers have the pick, but real quick, gentlemen, what position are they taking?
Wide receiver here.
Wide receiver?
Wide receiver.
There will be
Wide receiver.
they flipped who they flipped Buckner for the 13th to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Perfect spot for a wide receiver right here.
Or
Stan
don't
Frank.
be
I mean,
surprised.
Javon Kinlaw's on the board.
Yeah.
I haven't taken Kinlaw. Kinlaw.
They can replace
It's either going to be Kinlaw or Lamb for me.
But for
All right.
here's the thing. Here's how I see it though. Like I don't think it's Kinlaw because why would you give up one of the best interior defensive linemen for a 13th pick to get another interior defensive lineman?
For the money, you don't have to pay him now. Right now.
Well, you don't have to pay him, but at the same time, you can say Kinlaw is going to be just as good. But also, you got everyone knows that these picks don't always pan out the way they're supposed to be. There is no guarantee that Kinlaw is going to be an elite stud. What if he gets injury history, or what? I mean, not injury history, but what if he gets hurt? I mean, what if he doesn't pan out the way that you plan out to? So to me, they don't make this move unless if it's for another position. I don't see them taking Kinlaw. I think it's wide receiver, and I think it's Henry Ruggs, someone who can be that deep threat guy because they have Debo, who was the short to intermediate guy. They have Kittle, again, short to intermediate. They don't have someone who can take the top off because Marquise Goodwin, kind of fell off last year. So to me, it's Ruggs.
All right. So San Francisco 49ers with the 13th pick of the A2D mock draft, they have selected CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Gentlemen, thoughts? You're all quiet.
No, it's wide receiver. Wide receiver.
It was either going to be Lamb or Kinlaw for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it happened and you guys just went quiet.
I'm bitter.
Why are you bitter? Tell me why you're bitter. Talk to me.
Because the 49ers aren't the Eagles. That's why I'm bitter.
Oh, okay. That's why you're bitter. That makes sense.
I mean, if Lamb is still there at 13, I mean, I guess you can't really pass on him. But I would have taken Kinlaw over Ruggs.
Yes.
But not Kinlaw over Lamb.
See,
Yeah, Lamb, I can understand it.
I think if both of them, Lamb and Ruggs, are still on the board, I just think that Ruggs is a better fit than CD with the 49ers.
Yes, Ralph.
Because if you oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. Freaking Kyle Shanahan saw in the Super Bowl, man. Speed kills you, dude. So why not go get a speed guy and you run that offense at speed. He's right there for the
But they're-
taking. He fell right in your lap.
They're more like a zone run scheme. I mean, they got three good running backs, or two really good running backs that they can run the ball with.
But that they don't have someone, like I said, they don't have someone take the top off, like who could capitalize off of those zone flows and those misdirections. He likes speed. He has a type for wide receiver. He absolutely has a type. It's not a big wide receiver. He's not a fan of those. He likes route runners and speed guys. So I can absolutely see. Like I don't think Lamb is a bad pick. I can absolutely see it. I can just understand where Ralphie's coming from. Where I can understand why they would like Ruggs over Lamb because of what they need, and if they grade them closely, maybe they go with Ruggs.
But does Garoppolo have the arm to push it down the field to Ruggs?
That is the big question. That is the big question. Yes.
So now you guys are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You just get Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback in pro football right now. What do you do? Who do you pick at 14?
Jedrick Wills. Jedrick Wills is right there.
Well,
you have to take him. Best offensive lineman in the draft. He fell right. I don't know how the hell he fell down to 14.
Yeah, you have to. A lot of the other mock, have Thomas falling.
Yeah,
looks taking Thomas, but I don't know. Thomas went in the top 10 in this draft, so
yeah.
Well, let's find out.
Definitely Wills.
With the 14th pick, the A2D mock draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select.
There we go.
We got
Finally.
one, boys. We got one.
There you go. There you go.
So how? I guess you guys. My question for you is: your Wills, right? You've just dropped to 14. You were projected to go much higher, right? What does that do to the psyche? But then the fact that you're working with Tom Brady, how does that translate?
You better get ready. You better be ready to play.
Yep.
So that's how that translates.
Well, and he's a day one starter.
There's no building process. It's okay. You're expected to do the job to protect the GOAT. That's what you're protected to do.
Yeah. Yep. You're going to slide in. You're going to be day one starter. And it doesn't matter where. I mean, to me, I just think what the Bucs are going to do. I mean, they're going to be obviously they're all in for these next 2 years with Brady. So why not bump up the offensive line a little bit and just go after it, man.
If you're the Bucs here, you're absolutely doing cartwheels. This is the best case scenario. This, arguably OT1, OT2 falling to you, and you don't have to trade up. That's ideal, as ideal as it can get for them.
Okay, so now you're Denver, right? You're Denver, and you're John Elway. You're sitting there, and you're figuring out what do you do next, right?
Well, it's not Jordan Love, I'll tell you that, Andy. Quarterbacks.
No way.
Do you go wide receiver? Do you go cornerback?
You
take
linebacker?
No, you take Henry Ruggs. You're gonna party in friggin' Denver because he somehow fell to you, and then you're gonna go to bed. That's what you're gonna do.
You take Henry Ruggs. He complements Courtland Sutton really well. Mm-hmm. It's a slam dunk. Just like Chuck said, if he falls to you, you're doing cartwheels, man. You didn't have to trade up. You didn't have to do anything.
They need help on the D-line. Kinlaw's still on the board. So for me, once again, it's going to be either Kinlaw or a wide receiver for Denver. Unless we see a trade happen.
Right here is Ruggs, but on Thursday night, I see them potentially trading up a few spots to take one of the other guys.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
All right, gentlemen.
They got to give Drew Lock, weapons. So I think it's going to be a wide receiver.
I've got word. The pick is in. Let's go to the board. With the 15th pick of the A2D mock draft, the Denver Broncos select Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama.
Yep,
it is.
Good pick.
The Falcons are on the clock.
See, this is where it gets interesting now.
Yes.
Because now there's two things that could happen. And there's rumors going around that the Falcons might look to trade back and take a running back, or they were looking to possibly move up to take Henderson. But obviously, that didn't happen in this mock. So now that kind of the Falcons are in kind of a middleman type of a thing, could this be one of the teams from the back possibly trying to trade up now? This could be a situation. Now, obviously, I don't see it happening in this mock. Or do the Falcons strictly take the best player available? You know what I mean?
No, they desperately need a cornerback bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Henderson doesn't fall to them, I think they're going to probably look to take a maybe Kinlaw, get some interior pass rusher.
Yeah, and they lost that this year with Vic Beasley leaving.
Yeah.
So you can go Kinlaw here. It'll be the safe pick.
Or you can go,
Right
or
here
you can
for
go, or you can go Chase on too.
Yeah, I was going to ask him might be Chase on.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it sounds like that the Falcons they've got their pick in. So let's go to the board with the 16th pick of the NFL. I'm sorry, the A2D mock draft. The Atlanta Falcons select Kinlaw.
I'm
Out of
very
South
surprised
Carolina.
there's no trades yet. Very surprised there's no trades
I think we're going to see a trade happening in the next couple picks. Maybe that Dolphins pick or that Raiders pick might happen, but I think those two are going to stay there. Dallas, we'll see with that one. We'll see if somebody will move up.
If Henderson is there at 16, there's no way he passes Atlanta.
Correct.
Yeah.
No shot.
No, yeah,
So,
none.
so with Kinlaw getting drafted, was that the smartest move they could make with what was on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
You can never have enough pass rushers in this league.
Mhm.
You win up front. And he's probably the best player on the board right now.
And again, they're another team in that same division that lost a lot of defensive pieces. So if you want to go out and get your guy, Kinlaw's a guy who was projected to go much higher. So for example, if Kinlaw's there, I think Henderson, if it's between Kinlaw and Henderson, they would take Henderson. But in this situation where Henderson's been gone for a while, and it seemed like he wasn't even a viable option to trade up to get him, it makes too much sense for Kinlaw.
Yeah. Agreed.
So Cowboys are on the clock, right? Naturally, they're one of our biggest problems in the division, right?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you not want to see them take, other than anything?
Well, Chason's still there.
I don't want
That's
to keep
scary.
Chase on.
Yeah, no
I don't
shot.
want to see
If
them-
Chason's still there Thursday night, man.
I feel like
Think about it. Think about it, boys. If Chason's still there, that means we got to play him. We got to play Chase Young. We got to play Isaiah Simmons 2 times a year. I might punch myself in the face a couple times, but we'll be all right.
I think they're going to go defense on this one.
Yeah. At 17 right now, there's 3 guys they can look at: Chason, McKinney, and Kinlaw. One of those 3. So I think right here they'll go Chason.
All right, we've got word. Cowboys are in with their pick.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is McKinney, by the way.
I wouldn't be this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
With the 17th pick in the A2D mock draft, the Dallas Cowboys select.
Oh, we
Wait, they traded with Seattle
over Chason. You're right.
Wait, so what did they give up, Andy?
Ralphie, you caught up. Ralphie, we're going to trade, Ralphie. We got it.
Let's
So
go.
this is the details of the trade.
He spoke it into existence.
Let's go, Jordan.
Ralphie, you got to do the dab. You got to do the dab, Ralphie.
All right, so let me see.
go.
Let me make sure I understand this correctly. Dallas gave up the 17th pick, and they got pick number 27, and Seattle's first round pick next year.
Yes.
And another first.
Wow.
Damn.
So on the surface, guys, is this a solid trade?
That's a good
trade
haul for the
back.
Cowboys.
That's a good trade back.
I don't even have AJ going this high, Chucks. I have him late.
Yeah, he's a late first round for me.
Over Jason?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Imagine.
Oh my
It's going to be crazy, but thank God we don't got to play that. Good God, man. Let him go somewhere else.
Seahawks. Yeah, I don't see. I think Epenesa's a little. I have him like where you said maybe late first, maybe early second. If anything, I don't see him that high. They passed on Chase on the Seahawks. If they were to trade up in that spot and Chase on's available, I'd be very shocked if they don't take him.
Especially with all the moving pieces on their defensive side of the ball, Chucks. Especially because of that.
What's the benefit to the Cowboys, right? And we'll get to the Seahawks in just a moment. What's the benefit to the Cowboys trading back?
Their guy was already gone, and they don't want to reach.
Yeah.
Value, and they get the first rounder for next year. That's a great haul for them. That's a great trade.
So you move back, obviously you get the first, and now you're walking into next year with 2 first rounders, a little bit more ammo to do something next year. But obviously, like Chuck said, you move back, or Ryan said, what did he say? Oh, Jerry Jones would be stoked.
No. I was laughing at something else. I was going to say to your point, Ralphie, from earlier with Jordan Love, or the Cowboys are trading back so they could take Jordan Love and then Kirk.
Yeah, cheaper, right? Just like what Jules said with Kinlaw.
And then they could kick
Jacob.
Prescott to the curb. Oh, you don't want to sign a contract? That's fine. We'll go with Jordan.
Now,
Love.
is this a big grab for Seattle?
It's a reach. It's a reach.
It's a reach for
It's
Seattle.
100%
It's a big time reach, Andy.
They got it.
Jason's right there. I don't know why you're taking AJ. Maybe they see something different in him. But to me, it's Jason over AJ any day of the week.
They just brought out their 30-foot extension ladder.
Yeah.
Vincent Russo's correct. I believe that. I think we can all
I
agree
didn't know
Henderson's
about
their
that.
guy. So if Henderson was within reaching distance, I think, or Kinlaw, for example, if they were both around, they wouldn't have traded back. But because of that, and they can get, the Seahawks to trade up and reach like that, it's a win absolutely for Dallas.
Yeah. All right, so Dolphins are up. They've been on the clock, right? It's their second first-round pick. Do they keep it? Do they trade? And if they keep it, who do they take?
This makes too much sense for them to trade out of it. They're trying to acquire picks.
Yeah.
Them and the Jaguars. Them and the Jaguars are like the process 76ers. They're just trying to get as many picks as possible. It would make a lot of sense if this was Minnesota trying to move up for maybe Jefferson, trying to hop the Eagles.
That's what I'm thinking as well. It could be a possible trade up right there.
If they're there, they're going to just take strictly best player available.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to the board. Let's find out. With the 18th pick of the A2D mock draft, your Miami Dolphins select
McKinney.
Austin Jackson.
All right,
out of USC.
Okay. All right. They want
okay.
to go line.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's to me it's a bit of a reach, but
that's a reach.
Yeah, I get them wanting to build the line. I mean, they could have gotten someone at 26. To be honest, in my opinion, better value.
Jackson would have been there around 26.
Yeah. So it's a reach.
That's a reach.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being here for this second session.
Yeah, man.
We're going to swap out, guys. We'll see all of you back here in just a little bit.
I'm
Jules,
still
you're still here. Brodo, you're still here. We're Ralphie, Frank, and Jules. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. Let's call up Tom.
Before I get off of here, Howie, don't fuck this up.
Get out of here.
McKinney is
That mid sentence just gone.
All right, Jules. Where's the big guy?
There he is. He's here.
There he is.
I'm here. My lights are off. I got to turn my lights back on. I was sweating.
Come, Ralph.
We're back. We're back. Can I see the big board?
Love it, Ralphie.
Let's go to the big board. I want to hear you guys. Here, I'm going to scroll up a little bit so you can see what you missed. Right. I want to get y'all to weigh in.
Wow.
On what you guys missed while you were gone. Sorry, I can't make it work any better.
No, it's perfect. I think that board, honestly, the board that came out is honestly what I sort of see Thursday a little bit.
Yeah.
I see this. I see some of the wide. I don't see the linemen dropping like that. That's outrageous. But I see the way they went just opposite ways. Make sense? So like the offensive linemen, I'm good with offensive linemen going in them spots. It was just the wrong guys. We can all agree on that. But we can agree that the picks at the time for position-wise were the right picks, just the wrong players. So I believe this, Chucks. I want your opinion, Will, Sarai, Jake. I look at Judy at 11 and then CD, Ruggs, maybe a little late, guys, like a couple picks late. But I think that's right around where they go.
Yeah.
Maybe 9 to
I agree. Sorry, I agree.
But that's as early as I think he goes. I mean, I think talent-wise, Chucks, we talked about it. I think he's a top 5 guy, top 6 guy, talent-wise. But you know how these teams draft. They live up front, and I don't blame none of them. But I could see if Judy goes 11, I heard Ralphie yelling down there, and Ralphie was yelling, this is where, if these guys fall to the teens, that's where you think about making a move. But overall, I think the picks are pretty spot on for needs of these teams. I think Chucks agrees. CD Lamb, the Niners, perfect fit. Judy to the Jets. Should they probably go offensive tackle there if there's one available? Yeah. But if not, that's probably the pick they go. And then Ruggs to the Broncos. I think it's pretty clean, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
straightforward.
The Dolphins, like Pete was talking about, the Dolphins got their offensive tackle later in the draft. So they still address that need for Tua if that's the guy they pick. You know what I mean?
And the Broncos get explosive Ruggs, who I love. I'm not going to lie. I think that Ruggs is going to be an absolute player in this league. And they have Cortland Sutton, who's a very good receiver already, but he's not the vertical threat that Ruggs is. So young quarterback. That's a good move for them.
Real quick, boys. So we're going to move into who we think's going next, obviously, and we're getting closer to the Eagles pick. Now, at this point, where do they go? What direction do they start thinking about going with a lot of these, obviously, receivers they're eyeing up off the board?
Sorry, say that again.
What was that question? I'm sorry. Sure. Yeah, you broke up.
Yeah, all right, I'll do it again. I mean, just curious. We're getting closer to the Eagles pick. A lot of these wide receivers off the board. Now we start to wonder, hey, which position do they start looking at? What players do they start looking at? So just curious, getting closer to 21.
Well, I mean, Mims is still on the board. I think you stick with all the rumors we've been hearing about them going with Mims. I think you almost stick with that plan.
No, see, I think it's one of three things. It's either you pray to God that Jefferson's still there, you trade out, or you're taking one of the linebackers. I would, if Jefferson's gone, before the Eagles, I'm taking one of the linebackers. That's just me, because obviously you're addressing a position of need. But I could really see them trading back to say the 20, 25, 26, 27, somewhere around there, and taking Rager if they believe he's still going to be there.
I personally think, there are definitely possibilities. You guys know me. I'm Justin Jefferson. I'm not privy on at 21, just because I don't think he fits what we need. I'd rather have either Rager or Mims if they're going to go wide receiver at 21. If you're not going to talk about wide receiver though, then yeah, Patrick Queen would be an option I'd like. But a guy that I would really love at 21 too is Jeff Gladney. If you guys hear Mims and what in his interview, he says Jeff Gladney was the best corner he faced in college. And you look at Jeff Gladney, he's absolutely the type of corner that we would love here in Philly. He's absolutely competitive. He's also very physical, good at run support, and he's twitched up. Great athlete, great in multiple kind of coverages. So I know Jeff Gladney he's not as high for some evaluators, but for myself and for a bunch of others, Jeff Gladney is CB3, and to me, 21 is a great spot for him. So I would consider him as well.
Got it. So where are we? So we are at now.
We're at Las Vegas at number 19.
19. So boys, the Raiders.
And I also
go ahead, Will.
Chuck's to hop in real quick. Sorry, I agree with Chuck's. I'm not as big on Jefferson as other people are. To me, he's more of a slot guy. He's not really an outside guy. I think he has a lot of talent. But to me, if we're going to go receiver, I wouldn't mind trading back right here and going late 20s for a receiver. Or if we stay here, there's other guys I like too. I also like Pitt. I'm a big safety fan. I think that we need safety. I'm not sure what we're going to get from Jalen Mills. So I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if we went defense. To me, if we stay at 21.
All right, boys. Quickly, who do you think the Raiders now are taking at 19?
They went Henderson at 12, right?
They picked before. They picked
C.J. Henderson.
Jordan Love.
Wide receiver.
Jordan Love.
Oh.
I can see them going Patrick Queen here.
I can see that.
I'm going Jordan Love.
I can absolutely see that. That's a good one. That's a good idea. I think I can understand that.
I'm gonna go with Pete. I'm gonna say here we go. That way. I'm gonna go with Pete and say Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen.
I think Littleton was a guy they addressed in the offseason. You put Queen with him. I mean, I love that pick. Mayoc's good at this stuff. I'll go Patrick Queen to the Raiders as well.
Yeah. Or Christian Fulton. I don't know. We'll see.
So,
all right.
Word from the commish. The 19th pick of the draft is in from the Las Vegas Raiders.
From the Las Vegas Raiders, they select Patrick Queen.
There it is.
Outside linebacker from LSU.
Ralphie's crying somewhere. That's his boy.
Just got better. That's a real good.
Ralph is the best. Ralph is the Queen, so we got that.
Real good unit now for the Raiders. Their second level with Littleton and Queen.
Yep.
Two playmakers. Mike Mayock, like we talk about, he's good at this stuff. So I love that pick in 19 for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, two good picks so far for the Raiders. A good, solid draft so far for them.
Yeah.
Exactly what you would expect from them. I mean, they've been drafting well since Mayock came on board, in my opinion. I think they've been drafted really well. So now, we'll segue. I mean, we all love the Queen pick. We've all talked about Queen forever. So a few highlights of him. Just does a little bit of everything.
So
versatile, athletic, sideline to sideline guy. Sometimes he looks like a safety out there. I mean, that looks like that could be a safety making that play.
I love Queen because to me, I know like after Simmons, people have been debating Murray or Queen. And I understand the love for Murray. And I know Pete has been talking about last week on our show that he's starting to like Murray better than Queen. But to me, Queen he just fits the modern day linebacker. In today's NFL, you need someone with range and athleticism, sideline to sideline, and in coverage. And to me, Queen just fits that bill to a T. Super athletic. So to me, Queen is my bona fide LB2. And I think if you're someone like the Ravens, I think the Ravens would trade up to try to get Queen. To me, I honestly think that we're one of the potential trade partners with the Ravens. If we wanted to trade back and they wanted to trade up and Queen is still there, they could trade with us to get Queen because I think they want either him or Murray. They want a linebacker.
Agreed.
Good point, Chucks.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, you're Jacksonville. What do you do now?
Trade back.
You think you trade back?
I think if on draft night, if this situation is happening, I think this is going to end up being the Minnesota Vikings trying to jump the Eagles for Jefferson.
And I'd be fine with it.
If Jacksonville stays here,
I also would be fine with it.
If Jacksonville stays here, I could see them going possibly a Jordan Love or somebody like that, like a project quarterback that doesn't need to play right away. You know what I mean? Or they went. They can also go corner. Maybe they can go Gladney or Fulton as well. I mean, they lost Ramsey and Bouye. Let's not discount that. They traded Bouye and they traded Ramsey. So Miles Jack is back there. Now, I'm interested to see if Telvin Smith comes back this year and what he brings you. Remember, he didn't play last year.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of different directions they can go. But, if I'm them, Jordan Love at 20 that's not bad.
They have the thing about – I think that with the Jags, though, I would read into a quarterback more if they had more interviews with quarterbacks. They haven't been interviewing any. So that tells me that quarterback is not on their radar. They want to see what they have with Minshew and then wait. Once they know a year or two from now what they have with him, then they'll look into a quarterback. But I don't see a quarterback to them at this point.
This could also be a receiver, too. We talked about them possibly trying to get cute at 9. They obviously didn't. Right. This could be Mims or it could be Jefferson here.
Yeah, let's find out. We got the Jaguars.
Did they take a 9 again? I'm sorry.
What was the question, Wilson?
Who did they take at 9 again?
Becton.
Becton to tackle.
Okay.
So with the 20th pick of the A2D mock draft, Jacksonville selects Jordan Love, quarterback out of Utah State.
Oh,
wow.
Was that Pete that called that?
Pete.
Good call, Pete.
Wow, surprise.
Good call.
But
I think that's a terrible pick, but it's a good call, Pete.
Yeah, I don't think it's –
Why is it a terrible pick, though?
Because it's counterintuitive. They're tanking for freaking Trevor Lawrence. They say they're all in on Gardner. If they're not in on Gardner, go freaking Cam Newton. Don't go with a ultimate project guy in Jordan Love who's not going to be ready for a couple of years.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Rye. You know what I mean? I don't understand this pick. If you're all in on Minshew, this pick makes zero sense.
Yes,
if you're in the lose and tank, like you said, for Lawrence or whoever, right? That's not the direction you go here. Now, you draft your offensive tackle for the future. Go get some help on the defense side of the football then. Take the best player available. That would be a major reach. But this takes us into 21, our Philadelphia Eagles, with a lot of guys on the board. And if you look at the big board, everybody saw that. And I know Chuck isn't going to like it. Pete might not like this. But there is a flat-out playmaker sitting as the best player on the board, the big board right now. Flat-out playmaker, explosive. That's Mr. Swift from Georgia. I'm almost now tempted. Because I just want playmakers. I might not be the perfect pick. It might not be the need pick. But the guy, you got to shake your head. Guy just makes plays. If I can have 2 explosive backs, good. Give me as much talent as possible. I'm not saying that's
the benefit of –
that's the bit.
I don't have him graded this high. I don't have him. He's not my RB1.
What's the benefit of taking, somebody like a Swift who you say is a playmaker over Jefferson or Mims, somebody we've on this channel have talked very, very highly of?
Because I think people have
make a strength stronger
about Jefferson. I think people have concerns about Mims. them concerns aren't as high for Swift. I mean, he might not be Chuck's number 1 back, but he's probably 2, at worst. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's down. I mean, I like Jefferson personally. I think he can play, catch 111 balls in the SEC. I'll take my chance on him right here at 21. Is it the right pick?
Yeah.
Is it a semi-reach maybe? Semi, I guess, but the production's there. So, you know what? Go see if that production translates to the NFL.
Yeah, if big boards mean anything to you guys, everywhere I see Justin Jefferson is in the top 20. So getting him at 21 is a value. And I agree, Wills. I was like you, slot. I went back and looked at his 2018 tape before Joe Brady got there. Majority of his snaps was outside. He did win. He didn't win as consistently, but to have a piece like that for Doug Peterson to be able to move in and out, I'm coming around to it. I would be happy here, to be honest with you. I would be happy here with either Rieger, Mims, or Jefferson just to get Carson some help. Jefferson is going to be the one that can come in day one and start to contribute right away. Almost immediately, he comes in. You put him on the field with the healthy Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson. He can start to contribute. Won't struggle with the playbook. Won't have that lapse, and will make it work. And he catches balls in traffic. And in the SEC, if you could do that, and you know you're going to get hit and pop, and he catches with his hands. He doesn't trap it into his body. That'll be a plus, especially taking the ball from Carson.
Here's the thing though with Jefferson, and I'm going to try to be quick because I have I have a lot to say when it comes to Jefferson. Like
you always have a lot to say.
Yeah, I always have a lot to say. 2018, he played on the outside, but he didn't win as much there. So you can line up on the outside, but you can't just because you line up. It doesn't mean you're constantly winning there. Now, I really like Jefferson a lot. I think he's going to be a very good NFL player. I want to make that clear. But with this team, if I have wide receivers that are graded around that same level as Justin Jefferson, and they're a deep threat or a vertical threat and that can play on the outside consistently, I'm taking them. And I have 2 wide receivers who I grade closely to Jefferson, and that's Jalen Reagor and that's Denzel Mims. And so I'm taking one of them over over Jefferson because they are more of a fit and they're more of what we need over Jefferson. Now, do I think we can trade back and maybe get Reagor? Maybe. But with him putting out that video, teams love speed. So if you do not want to risk getting, having someone take Reagor before us, then you just take him at 21 and leave it be. Go get your guy. I think overall with this, we got to be careful because Howie spent all offseason upgrading the defense. If you do not take a wide receiver here, you get into very dangerous territory of showing your hand and saying you need to pick a wide receiver in the second round. Is it is it impossible? No, if there's a talent there on defense at 21 that is too good to pass up, then sure. But you have to kind of prioritize wide receiver a little bit on the offensive side of the ball because you didn't do anything in this offseason to upgrade and give weapons to Carson. So I'm first looking at wide receiver, and if Mims and Reagor are there, I'm looking at one of them too. I prefer Reagor personally, but if you want to give me Mims instead, I am not going to complain at all.
I'm with Chucks, actually. I'm not the highest on Jefferson. I do think he'll be a good player in the league. I think, like you said, guy that succeeded very well in the SEC and had a spectacular year this past year and great hands. I think he'll be a good player. To me, he's not the outside guy that we need. And I almost would trade back here. I do want a receiver. I want us to take a receiver. But I almost would trade back trying to get Reagor or Mims or Io, depending on who you like. I don't know that I go Jefferson here. I don't like Jefferson at 21. That's my whole thing. I wouldn't be against waiting to the second to get a receiver and taking a defensive player here.
Yeah, see, if they're staying at 21, I'm going Jefferson because at the end of the day, sure, Carson needs speed, but he also needs reliability. Jefferson raised his game in the biggest moments. You can get your Mr. Reliable here. I get it, he's not the speed guy, but you can go out and get speed later, whether it's Duvernay or there's so many other options. You can even take freaking KJ Hamler in the second, for example, if you need to, if you want to trade up, for example, where you have another second-round pick that you get via trade. To me, if Jefferson is here, we've talked about it for far too long. He's here. He's literally sitting there for you. Carson needs reliability and someone to catch the football. So to me, it's Jefferson here.
And listen, the pick's in, but real quick, to your point, right? This whole league's about the slot, man. You know, I mean, slot receivers are so important. If you got a guy that's tremendous in the slot and wins one-on-ones in the slot, it's good things for your offense, okay? And some of the quarterback's best friends are slot guys. So can he come in and catch 80 balls in the slot in his career, at some point in his career? Absolutely can. You know, I mean, I'm not as high on him as the other three.
No.
But the production you just can't run from. People think he's slow. 4.48 ain't slow. It's just he's not as fast and burner as these other guys are. I've seen him beat plenty of people over the top at LSU. So, you know, I think there's two sides of it, but we'll see where the Eagles go with 21.
Mims, come on.
With the 21st pick of the A2D mock draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
Ha!
Jason, okay.
Jason,
Okay with that.
outside linebacker.
Best player
LSU.
available. Best player available, I guess.
The city's going to riot if that
I'm
happens.
okay.
The city's going to riot.
I'm
good with
okay
it.
with that.
I'm fine with it.
I'm good with
fine
it, too.
with it.
I'm okay with it, though.
Hey,
I'm okay with
I'm
it.
okay with it. I'm just saying
We
the
always
city's not.
said you win by protecting your quarterback and getting to the quarterback, and this guy can get to the quarterback. So I like the chase on pick. Probably not the guy I would have went here, but I'm okay with it, especially because to me it screams that we're going to go receiver later, and it's a huge receiver draft. We all know this.
Yep.
Yeah, Chase on here to me is great value because I actually have him graded a lot higher than at 21. So if he's at 21, you could argue he's best player available. I don't see him getting past like the Cowboys maybe, but
Yeah, Chuck, I got him at 16, by the way.
yeah, like he
For me.
is really, really, really good, explosive. So I mean, when you talk about our edge players, we have Brandon Graham and we have Derek Barnett. We don't have explosion or speed rushers on the outside. Maybe Sweat or Avery, but they're still developing. Like we don't know for sure that they're going to develop into that premier speed rusher on the outside. So if you wanna still build and make sure you have that great defensive line and seal it up with Chase on opposite of Brandon Graham, then go do it because he's absolutely explosive on that edge.
Yeah, me and Pete talked about him for a little bit, you know, as we were leading up to this. It's the guy we kept not falling on, but a guy we liked. Didn't think that was going to be the pick, but a guy we wouldn't have a problem with, and that's the guy we get. Listen, you went up front. Wilson said it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's right in the middle. But if you come in and you make plays, we love it real quick.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm a big fan of not reaching. Don't reach. That's what's going to win this draft for Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles, not reaching. So Minnesota Vikings on the clock, obviously. Where I think it happens here, that's where Denzel Mims goes right now. It's Mims or Jefferson. I'm gonna side the Mims right here to the Minnesota Vikings at 22.
Wilson?
To me, it's Justin Jefferson here.
It's Jefferson.
I think Jefferson goes here.
It's Jefferson.
Yeah.
I think
they have an outside guy. I mean, they traded Diggs obviously, but I just think that they love Jefferson. All the reports I'm hearing is they love Jefferson, so I think they go Jefferson.
I think the fact that they that there's a lot of reports out there that may trade up to get Jefferson shows that they want him really bad. I think the simulator, because I'm looking at the simulator on their big board, they have Mims higher than Jefferson. So the simulator might give them Mims, but I think in real life their guy is Jefferson.
Everybody go on that one?
Yep.
Yeah,
Jefferson.
I think the pick's in.
They didn't want to miss any.
Laughing at Bill's comment, by the way, Bill. That's good work. Throw the TV out the door, Bill.
With the 22nd pick of the A2D mock draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Christian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU.
Oh, wow.
And a great pick.
Wow.
Great pick for him. They didn't go wide receiver, but went with another need.
About that.
They went with another
They
need.
lost. Yeah, they lost Trey Waynes, and they let Trey Waynes walk in free agency. They need another cornerback.
They cut Rhodes.
And they cut Rhodes too. Yep.
Cut Rhodes. Forgot about Fulton being there. So
and Rhodes has been rough.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't go wrong here when you're talking about LSU corners. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You really can't go wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like this pick for them. I forgot about Fulton.
Go player. Oh, I like the pick too.
And then they have pick 25. So they could take a wide receiver there too. Jefferson or Mims could still be there for them at 25. So
They could take that. Yep, take the next player they need right there. You're right.
How
To
important?
me, I almost feel this is a reach to me. I don't know. I don't know how much I love this pick, to be honest with you.
Why not?
Yeah, because they have a pick coming up in a few picks here, right?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah,
I feel like they should have gotten, if again with all the rumors that they're trying to trade up for Jefferson. If Jefferson there, you get the guy while he's available to you, and then you take your chances and hope that the guy they just took is still there, for their next pick.
To me, AJ Terrell's still there, right?
Ooh,
Yes.
I like Terrell.
Terrell's still there, right? I like AJ Terrell more, in my opinion. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, to me, I feel like maybe it's a bit of a reach. I think maybe it's a bit early for Fulton. That's all. Not saying he's a bad player. And
So
they
how
do need
beneficial?
corner, obviously. We know they need corner.
How beneficial is it to have two picks? I mean, seemingly 10 minutes apart from each other, or is that or does that hurt a team?
No, it's very beneficial.
Yeah,
Especially if the board plays out like this.
Yeah.
control the board almost. You know what I mean? Sitting right there. And then we're going to move on. Obviously, the Patriots now on the clock at 23. Obviously, defensively in pretty good shape. Offensively, not so much. So, who are the Patriots taking at 23, boys?
Would you pick up another quarterback knowing that you got rid of Tom Brady?
No. The
I
only
don't
chance
think not yet.
The only chance
they
they
will
do that.
draft the quarterback though in the draft.
Yeah,
I'm not saying now, but they will draft QB in this draft.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah, the only way they would have gone quarterback here is Jordan Love if he was still available, but in this mock, obviously he's not. I can see them.
I think they only go if it's Herbert. To me, I don't think they don't go Love.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Herbert would be here, but
who do you got them going, Ryan?
I'm almost thinking they go wide receiver here. Honestly,
they need it.
Yeah,
they need it.
I mean, it's unlike them to go. Obviously they went N'Keal Harry last year, and that didn't really pan out. I'm almost thinking this is either a Jeffrey, a Mims or a Jefferson here.
Right. I'll give you two. I can see Austin Jackson tackle out of USC, or I can see them going, or I can see them going Kenneth Murray. Was Jackson taken? Austin Jackson was taken.
Yes, Austin Jackson was taken.
Yeah, he was taken.
I like
You're not paying attention, Pete.
Austin Jackson went to Miami right before you guys came in.
I think Josh Jones is still available.
Josh Jones can fit, but I mean, I could also see them going.
Yeah, Josh Jones is still available.
We all know.
And Josh Jones, I wouldn't be shocked if they went O-line though. Like Pete's saying, O-line's not a bad decision for them.
Could also see him go McKinney too.
Yeah, a McCourty replacement.
Oh, McCourty replacement. Yeah,
possibility. That's what Trump said in the chat. So, Patriots pick is in. We'll go to the commish.
All right, and with
my music out.
There we go. And with the 23rd pick of the A2D mock draft, the New England Patriots select DeAndre Swift, running back out of Georgia.
Wow.
Nope.
Loading up on them Georgia
The New Orleans Saints are on the clock.
Up on them Georgia backs.
Georgia running backs galore in New England. Okay. All right.
I would be very surprised if
I would be floored. I don't see it happening. I would be floored.
They would trade for Leonard Fournette before they did this.
Yeah.
I think that DeAndre Swift's a good player. I just don't see this happening.
Right.
Yeah. So why would this have happened? What would have made them pick a running back?
Bill Belichick is just a crazy genius that does flexible stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Andy, you know why it would happen? Because it's a computer. That's why it would happen.
Yeah, because it's fake.
Because it's a simulator.
Best player on the board.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. When it comes to Swift, though, the reason why I don't have him as RB1, if I can finally get to talk running back, but with Swift, he's not as elusive as people think. Like he has a certain type of agility. Like he's not like someone like a Shady who makes multiple moves in open field, cuts on a dime, and then gets a feel. Like he's more of like a one cut. He has like a dead leg move that he does where he controls his pacing and he knows angles. He knows how to use angles and leverage when he's in open space. That's what makes him elusive. And then with his vision, it's not as good as people think. I think when he's running gap or power schemes, he has issues with manipulating second level defenders and linebackers because he doesn't always take the right path. To me, he's more of a zone runner who can stick his leg in the ground and get upfield with burst. That's why I have him a little lower. But the thing that's good about Swift is he has no real glaring weaknesses. He's a great receiver already, and he's great in pass protection. He doesn't really fumble.
Great
Physical. Yeah. So when you have no glaring weaknesses, only minor ones, it's hard not to have you higher. I personally, I don't know if we're doing second round. I don't know if we'll get to him, but the guy I have higher than him is Clyde Edwards-Helaire because talk about someone with no weaknesses. This guy is he is the modern day running back that we look for. So I have him higher than Swift, but I still love Swift.
All right, I
love Hyphen. I'm with you on that. I love Hyphen.
Yes.
Big fan of
call him Hyphen. I'm not going to give you his whole name, but big fan. Mauricio Drew type to me, who also had a hyphen. Love it.
So, boys, now Minnesota Vikings back on the clock.
No, we have to do New Orleans. We haven't done them yet.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Saints on the
Go
clock at
Saints.
24. Where do they go? Who's their pick at 24?
Kenneth Murray, maybe.
Yeah, I like
Could they
that.
go Mims here? I mean, you figure Michael
No,
Thomas.
but they got Emmanuel Sanders. I don't think they go wide receiver.
That's slot. Mims is a straight X receiver.
No, I hear you. I just because they have two wide receivers already, and if I remember, they have Ginn still. I just don't see them going wide receiver here.
Yeah, I could see them.
Wide receiver.
I agree. I agree, Chuck.
Yeah, I could see them taking Hamler later if they're going receiver. But not here. Not here.
No, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Murray.
Defense. They're going to defense here to me.
Yeah, Murray.
Murray?
Yeah.
All right, let's find out where the New Orleans Saints go.
I'm going to say AJ Terrell.
Watch.
AJ Terrell.
They pick wide receiver. Watch.
So with the 24th pick, there we go. With the 24th pick of the A2D mock draft, the New Orleans Saints select
Yeah.
Denzel Mims,
It is.
wide receiver out of Baylor.
Wow.
Computer.
Minnesota Vikings are on the clock.
Computer. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see
You
it.
say that about it. Good situation to fall into.
Yes, that
Yep.
is true. That is true.
Not
Very-
a lot of pressure. You got Sean Payton and make it happy. He's an evil genius.
Yeah. I mean that would make their wide receiver group potentially the best in the NFL if he can contribute even just a little bit in year one.
So was this a best case scenario for them, having somebody like Mims still available at 24, or should they have done something smarter?
Smarter.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
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 But it's the best case scenario for him.
Oh yeah, definitely for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
This makes you wonder where the Vikings go at 25 now. Do they go Jefferson now?
Jefferson.
They better.
Yeah.
They
They better
better.
go Jefferson.
No, I think they fall on Jefferson. Boys, everybody sort of in agreement Jefferson now that the Vikings?
Yeah.
The only chance
Yeah.
that's not happening is if somehow Odell is in Minnesota by friggin' Thursday. The only chance that's happening.
Or
Yeah,
on draft
Justin
night.
Jefferson to me.
Yeah.
Guaranteed here,
Yeah,
I think. I feel
Jefferson
like.
to me. So we'll see where the Vikings go. Vikings pick is in.
And with the 25th pick of the A2D mock draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Josh Jones.
Oh, did Jefferson
Outside
fail a drug
tackle.
test? Did
Out
Jefferson
of
fail a drug
Houston.
test?
Must have, right?
Miami Dolphins are on the clock. Dolphins are on the
Oh God.
Man, Minnesota just gave up. They just gave up.
Yeah.
I can bet money
It-
if Jefferson is there with both of their picks, they're not passing on him. I'll bet money on that. I'll bet good money on that.
If this
Jesus.
happens Thursday, is this to the point where you guys will feel comfortable trying to trade back into the first?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
If you tell me I walk away with Chason and Jefferson out of the first,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you can do that, yeah.
No, Pete, I'm with you
Or
on that.
or trading the first, trading it back into the first with the Niners and get Reagor.
or that too.
Whoever you like, depending on who you like. I mean, if you don't think that Reagor or Ayuk or Jefferson or whoever's going to be there at 53 that you like, then I'm fine with that. If you want to give 53 and maybe next year's second or however you're going to give to get up there, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Now the Dolphins on the clock. The Dolphins select Jefferson. Do they go wide receiver? with their second pick in the first round.
They could.
They could.
Yeah,
They could.
Or they could go Murray. They could go Murray as well. You know,
Murray.
Flores from the Patriots helm there. Now down in Miami, defensive minded, could go Murray. He also could go corner. You got Xavier McKinney still on the board, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
McKinney's still on board.
falling. McKinney's falling. Could be
Yeah,
McKinney.
That's second.
Yeah,
that
but McKinney's
secondary is
not
already
rated
loaded.
high up here
I don't know why. McKinney's
on this
like
board. They have him
I have
on
him
this board at 31.
Yeah, I have him as a top 20 player.
I have him around
Yeah.
2025, top 2025.
Yeah, agreed.
See, to me, this is where DeAndre Swift makes sense to me.
Ooh.
At 26.
But, I mean, he already went, obviously, but I'm saying this is where he makes sense to me, is Miami. But
Could you see Jonathan Taylor, Wills?
maybe,
No.
if you like, or if you like Dobbins, maybe.
Dobbins, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
see-
Dobbins.
I don't
a
think
little bit of
Taylor-
reach there, though. Chucks, don't you think? Like that early? Like,
Yeah, for Dobbins, yeah. Like I don't see Taylor to the Dolphins because look at who they signed. They signed former Eagle Jordan Howard. They don't need another
That's true.
two down running back. For the Dolphins, I think 26 they go running back, but it should be if they go running back, if it should be Swift as he's still available, and he should be available. But the earliest I'd go Dobbins is early second, somewhere around there. I wouldn't reach him going in the first because he's got issues with fumbling and he's not as good in terms of just being an all-around player, and pass protection is a question for him. So
Pass protection I feel like receiving, he's not as good as Swift either.
Yeah,
Pass
no,
protection-
he's not.
Pass protection for sure. Swift is a really good pass protector. I also agree with Chuck's here. I feel like in the actual draft, I think Swift will be here, and I think they're going to take Swift here in this pick. But in this mock draft, I wouldn't be shocked if they went Kenneth Murray or Marlon Davidson. I wouldn't be shocked if they went D here in the mock.
Yeah, I've got Murray getting taken here.
Yeah, I'm with Murray here, too.
Yep.
So let's see where the Dolphins go with their pick. It is it.
The 26th pick in the A2D mock draft, the Miami Dolphins select. Oh, we had a trade.
Oh,
Packers,
So-
Justin Jefferson.
So Green Bay gave up pick number 30 and their second round pick in the 2021 for
year.
Justin Jefferson at number 26.
Love it.
it makes a ton of sense.
That's a great pick for Green Bay. Great
Yeah.
pick for Green
Yeah,
Bay.
it is.
And
Yeah.
guess what? That's a great pick for Justin Jefferson to go into a phenomenal situation.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Great situation
Yep.
to go be in.
Woo! Him
The Cowboys are on the clock, by the way.
and Devontae, are you kidding me? With Aaron Rodgers throwing to him? Oh my God, that is a great situation. Oh
Perfect
man,
situation.
I kind of want to see that happen. I kind of want to see draft night. I want to see the Packers trade up because they have a bunch of picks. I want to see them trade up and get Jefferson, and then like steal him from the Vikings, so the Vikings are miserable again. So like,
That's classic. Classic.
That's great. So how big of a move was this? Like in reality, right? How big of a move is it for Green Bay to jump up 4 spots and take?
They didn't give
to
up a
me,
lot, and it's a need. I mean,
That just doesn't,
absolutely, it's a need, Pete. And to me, if this is how the draft goes, I could absolutely see this happening because they need a playmaker opposite Devontae, and you got Aaron who's getting older, but he's still elite. But they want to try to get him more guys and obviously trying to get another title with him. So if this plays out like this and Jefferson's still there, I definitely could see this happening.
Yeah, I mean, they needed reliability outside of Devontae, especially now that Devontae's been kind of getting banged up. When Devontae's not in there, he has nobody. He really has nobody. And now you're going to have, obviously, Devontae. You're going to have Jefferson. You're going to have Funchess. To me, that makes a lot of sense.
So now you're the Cowboy. I'm sorry, Tom.
No, I think it's a perfect fit. Perfect spot for him. Couldn't be in a better spot.
Yep.
So the Cowboys in the 27th spot, right? They traded back with the Seahawks. What do you do now?
A.J. Terrell or McKinney?
I think it's McKinney here.
Yeah. I'm going to go Terrell. I'm going to go Terrell, but it's either one.
Yes.
They could also go Itor Gross Matos. You know,
They could.
they need a pass rusher. I don't think it would be the best player available. I'm just saying, if they want a pass rusher, that's the next best one.
Maybe even Cesar Ruiz. Possibly.
Yes. Yeah,
They lost their center, obviously retired. So I could see that.
Yeah, actually, I would go that. I would say Cesar Ruiz would be most realistic if he's available. Yeah,
name.
great point, Bill.
All right, the pick is in from the Cowboys. See where they go.
With the 27th pick in the A2D mock draft, Dallas Cowboys take Trayvon Diggs, cornerback out of Alabama.
Wow.
I can see that.
Wow. Okay.
It makes sense for him. You know, you lose Byron Jones, you sort of think there's a replacement for him. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not saying it's the best pick in the world, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I definitely do.
I don't have him as high. I don't have him as high, but
I don't either.
It's a need. It's a need, though.
I don't have Diggs as high as guys like Terrell or even Damon Arnett. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I've seen some issues with Diggs when it comes to effort and
fit right in.
Yeah, good point. I've seen some issues with him with effort, and he's not the best athlete. So he's kind of scheme specific. He has to go to the right scheme. I don't know if Dallas would be the right scheme for him. So it's a questionable pick. I have him as a second round grade, so it's a reach. But hey, if that's what happens on draft night and they reach for Diggs, I'd be happy because I don't think it'd be a good pick. So I
would love this pick as an Eagles fan. I would love them to take this pick because I totally agree with Chuck. To me, Terrell is a better player. I would go Terrell here if you're going to go corner. So I would love this pick as an Eagles fan because I just think it's a bad pick. It's an early pick. I'm not saying he's a bad player. It's early to me.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys jumping in for 19 through 27. Let's bring up the fourth group. Pete, Chucks, thank you guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Let's bring up Ralph, Nick, and Frank. Oh, God. Ralph and Frank, while we're switching everybody out, give me a recap. What do you think of 19 through 27?
19 through 27.
Well, the big
couple
shocker
surprises.
to me, the big surprise was the Packers moving up and getting Jefferson.
Yeah.
That was the surprise to me. But like Wilson, like you said, brother, it could happen Thursday night, where if he's still on the board, I mean, Aaron Rodgers still needs a playmaker. Ryan touched on it a little bit with the whole Devontae Adams situation about him getting banged up a little bit. I mean, Rodgers gets another playmaker.
Mm-hmm. The other one for me,
absolutely,
the Eagles getting K'Lavon Chaisson. I mean, yeah, it is a position of need. I thought they would go for Justin Jefferson, but I mean, hey, the Eagles finally got a linebacker. That's something.
Yeah.
So,
and they'll play him at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, gentlemen, the Ravens are on the clock. This is the first time we see the Ravens in this draft at number 28. What do you guys do? Knowing who's left on the board, knowing what's happened, what's your move? Frank, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Frank.
Sorry, Ralph.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. I mean, looking at my board right now, I see Jalen Reagor from TCU possibly going at 28. I mean, the Ravens do have a need at wide receiver. It's most of the time it's just been Lamar Jackson throwing to Hollywood Brown. I think he needs a little bit of extra help right there. So I don't mind seeing them taking Jalen Reagor at 26. So I'm going to go with him.
It's 28, not 26.
Whatever. It's the 20s.
Still a number, right? Still a
long
number.
day. I'm tired.
I don't want to hear it. Ralph, you're up.
Obviously, the Ravens couldn't move up in the draft to take Queen, and they have a linebacker sitting in their lap right now in Kenneth Murray. So if I'm the Ravens, it's Murray for me, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, Jules, Wilson, somebody.
Yeah, I think with me, Murray makes the most sense, but it would not shock me if they made just kind of like a surprise move and go Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I know it's early, but it wouldn't shock me either.
Jules?
I'm going Kenneth Murray, and if Kenneth Murray isn't there, then they'll probably go Zach Bond.
And Mr. Wilson?
I'm with Ralph and Jules here. To me, it's Kenneth Murray. I think it's actually a great value at this spot because to me, Kenneth Murray should go before this in the draft.
Yep.
So I think it's a great value for them, and I think they definitely go Murray here.
Tremendous value. That defense will be a top 3 defense.
All
Absolutely.
right.
Oh, easy.
The pick is in, gentlemen. Let's go to the board with the 28th pick of the A2D mock draft. The Baltimore Ravens select.
Yep.
Gross
Matos.
Wow.
Gross
Matos.
end out of Penn
Wow.
State.
Wow.
Gross Matos. Wow.
Out of Penn State.
So, gentlemen.
Well, I mean, they got the defensive lineman. And Murray's still on the board. I mean, Howie,
Yeah, that's
if you want to pick up the Zoom call whenever you want, buddy.
It's definitely a question mark.
You
It's
know?
definitely a question mark because they just traded for Calais Campbell during in the offseason. But I know he's getting older, so that's somebody that can replace him. But I think Murray was definitely the pick there.
I don't have Gross Matos rated this high. To me, he's a second round guy. But like you said, I think we touched on this earlier before the draft, because there hasn't been the normal team seeing every guy pro day and everything. Shit could get a little haywire. I mean, I feel like this is getting a little haywire right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like it could get a little haywire on Thursday.
So why do you pick? Why is I don't even know where I was going with that. It's been a long day.
Gross Matos over Murray. I mean, to me, I would go Murray here. I think he's a better prospect.
And the thing
Gross
is,
Matos, I don't dislike Gross Matos. I just think that he's a second round guy to me. I think this is early for him.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know why they even took him there when you traded for Calais Campbell in the offseason.
Right.
So you have Calais Campbell up front as well. We already know how impact that player is, how impact he is on the defensive line. I just think if Murray's there Thursday night, they take him.
Good night.
Yeah, lock it in. Lock it in.
So now you're Tennessee. You have the 29th pick. What do you guys do?
Well, you lost Jack Conklin in free agency. Oh my God, I don't know how to say his first name. Ezra Cleveland, whatever is the kid from Boise State.
Ezra?
Yeah, is there.
Ezra?
Ezra Cleveland, yeah. The kid from Boise State is still there. That could be where, I mean, he could go early second, late first, but if I'm Tennessee, I could go that route, or I can go and get McKinney that's still on the board, and he keeps on falling. So it could be at the point where you just take the best player available.
I mean, looking at it from here, I know they do have some other needs other than tackle. I mean, you have defensive end. You have Julian Okwara, who's probably making his way up the board right now. I mean, you also mentioned Ezra Cleveland. Linebackers, I mean, Kenneth Murray, he's still on the board.
Yeah.
So I think they could snag him. And then running backs, I mean, we could see a Jonathan Taylor sighting at 29.
But do you think Jonathan Taylor would be a good fit with Tennessee, even though they're bringing back Derrick Henry?
I would not be a fan of
Yeah, no, I think they're going to pay Henry so much. I think they're going to pay Henry so much that and I love Derrick Henry, don't get me wrong. I feel like he's a fucking cheat code. I call him Game Genie. For anybody that's an old school Nintendo fan, fucking dude is a cheat code, especially late in the season. To me, this screams a defensive pick here to me. Or O-line, which you mentioned earlier. Isaiah Wilson, possibly.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm going to say Murray, though, because to me, the fact you look at Murray and you're like, how is he fallen this far?
Yeah.
You got to take him. You got to take him.
Yeah. To me, it's definitely O-line or defense. I'm going to lean towards the defense because that's how you got to the AFC Championship game, by running the ball and playing defense. Yep. They lost Logan Ryan to free agency, so I can possibly see him taking A.J. Terrell here as well.
Another guy that should be gone already, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, with the 29th pick of the A2D mock draft, Tennessee Titans select
Jonathan Taylor.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Miami is on the clock.
Hit the strobe.
Wow.
Holy shit, I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming either.
Crazy. They just, as they
that was a shot in the dark for me.
They franchise their running back and then take a running back. That's crazy shit.
That is crazy.
Unless they trade Derrick Henry.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, I mean,
who the hell knows at this point? It's getting crazy right now.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Wow.
I don't see how you could trade Derrick Henry if you're in their position. Because he's just so good.
Right.
Like, I understand what you're saying, but how do you justify being like, I'm going to trust the back
Yeah.
that no one, that's unproven in the NFL over a guy that we know is a fucking moose.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Completely, guy. Yeah, there's no way I would trade Henry. I'm just trying to think of
I still like
this.
Jonathan. I like Jonathan Taylor though a little bit. I don't hate him. I just think here, I also think it's early. To me, he's a second round guy, and I think I would go defense here.
If Thursday night happens and some way somehow the board falls like this, and Murray is still on deck and he's still there for you, can you see Howie maybe moving up back into the first and getting him, even though you didn't go wide receiver at 21?
No, I can't.
No.
Is there a way you can move up, Ralph? Here's the question for you, Ralph. Is there a way you can move up without trading 53? If you say, hey, we're going to take a receiver at 53, can we still get up without trading that pick? Now it's going to take.
I think I would do that.
Next year's picks, obviously.
But
if you can do that, I'm on top of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That would be fucking unreal.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do that.
So you're Miami, right? It's your 30th. You're in the 30th pick slot. What do you do?
If McKinney's here, I mean,
McKinney's got to go soon, right?
You fucking traded away an all-pro safety in Fitzpatrick, who, he's only like 22, 23 years old. So you got to have somebody.
And you got great corners.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, McKinney's a good pick. Maybe Delpit, depending on who you like.
Yeah.
And also, this is where I start creeping about Edwards-Helaire. To me, running back could go here. I know Taylor just went. I think Miami needs a back. We'll see what happens.
So is it pretty unanimous here?
Yeah.
To
me, if I'm the Dolphins, like Jules said, you got rid of Fitzpatrick, you slide McKinney back there, you're good to go.
Well, that's a good thing. So let's go to the board because the pick is in. With the 30th pick of the A2D mock draft, Miami Dolphins select
Antoine
Jr. from South Minnesota.
I love that pick.
From Minnesota.
That's my guy.
I love that pick.
And the Niners are on the clock.
Wow. So freaking McKinney is still there.
So what does picking a safety do here for Miami?
Repeat that, Ritz.
I said, what does picking the safety here and giving up somebody like Murray do for Miami? Is this the right move, or is this something that you guys could have seen them doing something different?
I could definitely see them taking a safety right here. It may be a little bit too early for Winfield with McKinney still on the board.
Mm-hmm.
But Winfield, I mean, had 7 or 8 interceptions this past year. I mean, he's a playmaker. He's a ball hawk.
Yep.
So, I mean, having somebody like that in your secondary is very good value.
Yeah, it's a great move regardless.
Pedigree. Me and Tom talk about all the time. Pedigree. Take tackles just like his father.
Right.
Jules just got hype.
That's my guy. I mean, I would love to see
him. Now, as we're closing out round one, right, and the Niners are on the clock, and you're San Francisco, what do you do? Where do you go? Do you go first off? Let me ask: do you go offensive, defensive side of the ball?
Well, they went and got their receiver.
Got the receiver, yeah. I think they go defense on this one.
Yeah, they'd have to go defense.
I think they lost some defensive players in the offseason. Jimmy Ward. They lose Jimmy Ward or the other guy. One of the.
They brought Jimmy Ward back, I think.
Yeah,
they brought Jimmy back.
Okay.
But you could go McKinney here, right? Screaming McKinney. It could be a perfect fit.
I mean, John Lynch, former safety, he's a GM. I mean, he's probably looking right now. It's like, holy shit, McKinney's right here at 31.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, the pick is in. Let's go to the board. The San Francisco 49ers, with the 31st pick of the A2D mock draft, have selected Grant Delpit,
okay.
Safety out of LSU.
See, I mean, we had a position, right?
Yep.
So has some tackling issues. He was hurt for most of the second half of the season, but
which I think was part of the best tackles.
Yeah. You're right about that, Jake. But I'm a big fan of Delpit. You can see right there, he's got the range to play center field, cover a sideline to sideline. He can blitz off the edge as well. He's versatile. I like his length and size.
He's gonna be a great prospect, Jules.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's gonna be phenomenal. It just depends on what scheme he fits in as well.
Yeah. He definitely fits well in that San Francisco scheme.
Yeah.
And on top of that, too, you go back, a year ago, he was projected to be in the first round early. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, top 15 pick.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I just think, as Chucks was alluding to this year with the whole Okudah and Henderson, and somebody brought up that Henderson's junior or sophomore year was phenomenal. It's just that I guess some of these guys just take the year off because they're making that business decision. You know what I mean? They don't want to get hurt in that year, and then their draft stock, falls down and they start losing some money. You know what I mean? So it's all about business decisions. But I totally agree. Grant was supposed, if he came out last year, he's a top 15 pick. Easily.
Now,
he's a great leader too as well.
Yeah.
Has that number 7 jersey. That means a lot in LSU.
Yep.
Kansas City's been sitting here in the wings. They've been watching everything kind of going on for the last 31 picks, right? Frank, I'm gonna start with you. What do you do at 32 to round out round one, and also do you make a statement?
You know what? I think they stay with this one. Go somewhere on the defense.
Jules?
That offensive line is horrendous.
Yeah.
So I think Cesar Ruiz would be a great pick here.
That would be a phenomenal pick.
Yeah, I would say either Cesar Ruiz or whoever they believe is the best running back on the table.
Yeah. I mean,
JK's still there. Right? J.K. Dobbins is still the only running back still on the board. So if you're going to go running back, it's got to be J.K. here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you got to protect the $40 million guy, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, the pick is in. Kansas City with the 32nd pick of the A2D mock draft has selected
KJ
Hamler, wide receiver out of
Wow. More speed for friggin' Mahomes.
Wow.
KJ Hamler. Where's Chuck's at?
I don't think Chuck is okay anymore.
He's going to have 3
Bengals are on the clock.
Hamler.
Yo, he's not even here. He's gone. Hold on.
Wow.
So you have 3
Yeah, he's gone.
He's just left.
Yeah.
He's like, nope, gone
forever.
That's three speed guys in Hill, Hardman, and Hamler.
That's just not fair.
Wow.
It's not fair, and it don't really make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It's a horrible pick.
Big time reach.
Speed kills, like they say, but that's a huge reach.
Yeah, it's a big time
reach. Yeah.
Chucks, where are you chiming in from, Chucks? You weren't at the.
He's on his phone, probably on the toilet. Living room.
It's probably on the toilet.
Reach.
Wow. McKinney falls to the second. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. McKinney and Murphy are in the second round right now on day 2.
I'm gonna get to that in a minute.
Howie right now. Call up Howie right now.
You have to. Somebody get on a Zoom call. Please, Zoom call. Oh my
question here, though, is even though you guys don't understand, you guys have said you don't understand them picking the wide receiver, was it necessarily a bad decision?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, never mind.
If you can't
because it was available, yeah.
I regret asking.
It doesn't matter if you cannot protect the quarterback, or if you can't take pressure off of the quarterback via the running attack. Then it doesn't matter who you have. I get it. You have Hamler. You have Tyreek Hill. It's fun, but it's irresponsible. Right. It's irresponsible.
You don't need any more. You don't need any more weapons. You got the best tight end in football.
So, gentlemen, as we start round 2, the Bengals have been on the clock. It seems like their pick is in. So let's go to the board. Let's figure out how Bengals start round 2 with the 33rd pick in the A2D mock draft. First pick of round 2. The Bengals select Ezra Cleveland.
Wow.
So
outside tackle out of Boise State.
Okay.
So they basically did what the Dolphins did, right? They got their quarterback, and they came back and got their tackle. Cleveland, I guess this is where it's supposed to go. This is where I had them late first, early second. It's a good pick for Cincinnati. Great pick.
Yeah, solid pick.
Yep.
So, obviously, Murray doesn't go. McKinney doesn't go. Right. They don't go in the first round. They don't get picked up, this first pick here in the second round. What could be the reasoning that they're falling, right? And they're almost on a nosedive at this point.
Well, if this is happening in real life, just like we've been saying here for many weeks, is just that you don't have enough stuff on people, right? You can't hold the pro days. You can't go face to face with people, so it's going to be tough. I wouldn't be shocked if come Thursday a player like that caliber falls because you don't have that much info on him.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, unless there's a gas mask involved, there's no way guys like that should be dropping.
Yeah, but even from a big school like that, I mean, Alabama and Oklahoma, I mean, I think they have enough film and information on it.
And it's a copycat league, too, to where guys are going to want to mold off of bigger schools. Oh, if he's from this school, he can automatically play, so let's take him.
Yeah. Okay. So the Colts pick is in at number 34. Let's go to the board. Gentlemen, with the 34th pick, second in round 2. The Colts pick. Good God.
Jeff Gladney.
Jeff Gladney.
Wow.
Nice.
I like that pick. I really like that pick.
Yeah, it's very
good value in the second round.
See, I would have gone wide receiver here. I would have if I were them.
I mean,
you missed out on Nelson, right?
You could definitely go Rieger here.
Yeah.
They lack some speed on the at receiver. I mean, T.Y. Hilton is he's getting up there in age. He's pretty old.
Yep. And they're going all in with Phillip Rivers too. They're trying to give him as many weapons as possible.
But I could definitely see Rieger going to Indy.
So Lions are on the clock, boys. You're Detroit. What do you do?
Jesus.
Ralph Ryan scares me with that little chuckle that he has over there. So I'm going to start with Ryan.
See, I was going to save this for the Chargers because that was
sure.
my pick. But do they get cute and go quarterback here?
And go Jalen?
Do they go Jalen Hurts?
There's Jalen Hurts.
What's the benefit to doing that?
In case Matthew Stafford gets hurt again, they don't have to go to friggin' Jeff Driscoll.
Who?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or that Purdue kid.
You have Jalen sit for a whole year, right? That's going to be interesting, but I don't see that going.
I'll go Ruiz though.
Jake Jules.
I mean, they already have a young offensive line. I don't see them going with Cesar Ruiz on this one.
It's either going to be Ruiz or they go quarterback. But I'm leaning towards Ruiz.
I'm going Ruiz.
Ralphie?
Man. These are linebackers, boys. I'm going to go Murray. Pound it in the goddamn pig. Murray's got to go here.
Oh, that's right. He's still available. Yeah.
Murray. Give me Murray.
I'm going to pick Murray until he goes.
God damn it.
The pick is in. Let's go to
if they don't pick McKinney or Murray, I'll shut up because it's obviously not going to happen.
This makes sense for the Eagles to trade up to him too. This would be a great pick for the Eagles to trade up to.
So
but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
With the 35th pick in the A2D mock draft,
Jalen
Detroit Lions selects Terrell Lewis, outside linebacker from Alabama.
What are we doing in Detroit? Murray is there, sitting there. Terrell Lewis?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. What are we doing? That's ridiculous. I got nothing on him. Dude, let's go to 6. Wow. I can't believe this, man. What are we doing?
It's Detroit. Are we surprised?
Wow.
I think Martha this is Ford, one of their needs, though, isn't it?
I think Martha
Ford. But Murray's a better prospect, Andy.
Lewis is one of their needs, yes. The
linebacker
is definitely one of them. Murray's a need.
But here,
I meant to say linebacker.
And you guys have more stats than I do.
Frank.
I know it's a linebacker.
But hear me out, right? You guys know the stats. You guys know the players better than I do.
Yeah.
Does Lewis fit the style of play better than Murray that's happening in Detroit?
No.
Murray's just a better prospect, though, Andy. He is.
I know, and I completely understand that, but there's something keeping him on the board.
I don't know what.
Did he go play baseball? Is he a baseball player now?
Yeah.
What are we doing? I think Martha Ford might have had a heart attack after that pick. Jesus.
Jeez. Poor Martha.
Yeah, right. Poor Martha.
Unless Martha's making the pick, then no, poor Martha.
So, all right. New York Giants. One of the teams we absolutely can't stand.
There you go, Ralph.
Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing?
What do we not want to see them do? Let's ask that question, right? Because we've been asking,
Who's
what
on
do
the
you want
clock?
to see them do? Giants.
The Giants.
Oh,
What do
pick
you
somebody
not-
that's supposed to go 7th round. Let's go rugby player here. That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah, right.
So
I mean, they already took Simmons with the 4th pick.
Yeah, they took Simmons with the 4th. They
So that
still
kinda
need
hurts.
some offensive tackle
Yeah.
help.
They would probably take Isaiah Wilson right here.
Yeah,
I would think.
that's a good selection, Jules.
Yeah.
Could this be Ruiz?
It could be
Maybe.
I think they need more
tackle.
tackle. Yeah,
They need tackles, yeah.
I mean, they paid Nate Solder a whole bunch of money, and he stinks.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Or they
great
could go
running back
McKinney.
there, but
Ralphie. They could go McKinney.
I know, seriously. And that would be another night for my goddamn
Could it be?
checks.
Hey, could it be
Simmons
Murray?
and McKinney?
Kenneth Murray.
Oh
No,
my
could
God,
be-
Simmons and
Murray.
Murray.
Simmons and Murray?
You know, if they
linebacker.
take Murray here, I'll walk off because I can't deal with it. I won't be able
That's
to deal with
oh
it.
my god, that linebacking core would be phenomenal.
okay, I can't wait to see this because the pick is in.
I think it's going to be Murray. I'm saying
This
it right now.
is ridiculous.
I'm saying it right now. It's going to be Murray.
Please not Murray.
Let's go to the board, gentlemen. New York Giants their pick is in with the
boy.
36th pick of the end of the A2D mock draft. The New York Giants select Michael Pittman Jr., wide
That's
receiver.
another reach. There you go, Kettle. There you go, Kettleman. Clap it up, fellas. There you
Michael
go.
Pittman.
Great freaking reach.
What are we
Great
doing?
job today.
And he's a USC receiver, so
What are we
There you
doing?
go. Great player, Gettleman.
That's
Great,
a Gettleman,
great
dude.
player,
So they
baby.
drafted Michael Pittman to be a 4th-string wide receiver
Yep.
yeah.
Jeez.
Great play.
because they've got Slayton, Golden Tate, and Sterling Shepard.
Yep.
I don't know.
How stupid can you be?
Shout
Yeah,
out
it's
to
pretty
Noah.
crazy.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck, here comes Chucks. Okay, it doesn't matter, Chucks, if it's a reach. They don't need him. That's that. They don't need a
another
freaking wide
receiver.
receiver. Come on now.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, ew
Come on.
indeed, Joey.
Pittman in the second. What are we doing?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
even
Well,
care
I'm
about it.
Well, there you go. Not my problem.
It doesn't matter if that was Rager. The Rager pick wouldn't have made sense. They
Rager-
don't need a receiver.
They don't.
Like you said earlier, well, I said earlier, you're going to have to pay Saquon $17 million next year just because he's next up on the market, right? He's going to get more money than McCaffrey. So you got to get $17 million worth of production.
Yeah.
So you got to build up front.
Yep.
So, gentlemen, before we switch out the groups here, you guys watched the last 9 picks. What's the most shocking pick that's happened here?
Well,
Most shocking
every
moment.
single pick.
Yeah.
Hamler to KC.
Hamler.
Yeah, that was
Hamler
a big shocker
reach.
for me.
Let's see.
Murray's
Michael
on the
Pitt-
board still,
and
by the way,
Jr.,
Howie. Just-
McKinney's still there.
McKinney, Cesar Ruiz still on the board.
Yeah.
Kenneth Murray, McKinney.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All
These
the
past
other
9 picks have all been
ones,
shockers.
see, they're good fits. It may not be the right player, but position wise, they're pretty good fits schematically.
All right, so gentlemen, I thank you for coming on. Most of you are staying with me,
Yes, sir.
but Frank, Ryan, I'll see you guys. Actually, yeah, I'll see you guys in just a little bit.
Jalen Hurts to the Chargers.
Okay, let's bring up Chucks. Let's bring up Pete.
Yep, I'll get Pete up in here. Chucks. Chucks is in. Pete.
Yo.
There we go. I love the name. We need to
I
go
love
over.
I love it.
All right, so the Chargers are on the clock at number 37. Right,
Wait,
gentlemen?
Wait.
First off-
Can I just say something real quick?
Hold on.
Here we go. Here we go.
Well, as we do that, cut to the big board so we can see what you guys have missed,
Okay.
right? So,
Yeah. Hamler? What the F?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Pretty crazy.
Like, okay, I'm taking it from, like, that's a reach. That's absolute reach. That's not going to happen. He's going in the second round. But, like, just flip it.
all right, back to 6.
To the Chiefs side, what do they need more speed for?
Why not? Why not?
That's not fair. Like, they're just going to outrun everyone.
Exactly.
God.
You have the quarterback with the arm to do it. Why not?
Oh my god! And the other thing I did want to contribute real quick, because the last few picks are crazy, but Pittman that early is not. I mean, there is not a reach. Pittman
No.
is very, very, very good. However, Is it a position?
Yeah, but early second, though, Chucks?
Huh?
Early second, that high in the second?
Bro, there have been a lot of people grade him as a late first round pick, and
Yeah.
they have a good point. No, but even if you want to debate that, that's fine. I do agree. Wide receiver over offensive tackle or offensive line, that's the egregious point. That if you're the Giants and you pass up on a lineman in the first round and you do not do it in the second round, that's bad. But Pittman is very, very good. That is not a reach at early in the second.
So now they're not San Diego anymore, are they? Are they still San Diego?
No, Los Angeles.
No, Los Angeles.
You're the LA Chargers. Sorry, I can't keep up anymore. You're the LA Chargers. What are you guys doing at number 37?
J.K. Dobbins. Give me another running back.
Why?
I lost Melvin Gordon. You could put Austin Eckler and J.K. Dobbins in there.
Could do
You obviously could do what you did before. J.K.'s a 2-down back, easy way, and you could have you slice up Eckler in there as well. J.K. Dobbins could fit. I like it here.
Let's hear from Mr. We Need a Ride receiver, Pete Evans.
I mean, they could go running back here. I mean, they could look at Mr. CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They also can go quarterback as well. I would be surprised. I mean, if you got Tyrod Taylor, maybe you may go Jalen Hurts here. Maybe you go make Jacob Eason here. You know what I mean? So it's not that much stock. It's not that much stock in your future quarterback. I mean, you also can go possibly Kenneth Murray here. Their defense is loaded. I will give them that. They do not have a middle linebacker like Kenneth Murray.
That's true. That's very true.
So, and adding Kenneth Murray to that team,
they are loaded everywhere else on defense except linebacker.
Yep.
Jules, Jake, one of you two want to go?
I think realistically, I'd like to see Murray, especially if he's there. It's a common sense pick, especially if he's right there, especially with the needed linebacker. But it wouldn't shock me, just as a football fan, just to see that pairing of Austin Eckler and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'd love to see that, but I think.
But Chuck, assuming that Kenneth Murray's up the board right on Thursday night at this pick, could the Chargers potentially take Willie Gay Jr.?
Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, Willie Gay, for me personally, he's a bit of a reach. I have him third round, but something that I've noticed from a lot of different evaluators and what I've been hearing, once you get past the top 3 linebackers, it's a crapshoot. I mean, a lot of these guys are. I have some evaluators having guys like Akeem Davis-Gaither, round 2, and then I have other guys having them as round 4, and a bunch of names are. It's a crapshoot. So could it be someone like Willie Gay? Possibly. I wouldn't rule out offensive line, interior either, or offensive tackle, depending who's there. So they could go a number of different ways.
All right, gentlemen. LA's pick is in. Let's go to the board so we can see. At number 37, the Chargers select. Oh, they traded
the Bears.
The Bears.
Wow. So it looks like the Bears gave them the 43rd pick and the 3rd round pick next year in order to jump up to 37 and take Kenneth Murray, outside linebacker from Oklahoma.
Great pick.
Roquan Smith and Kenneth Murray.
That is a great pick.
They run
Khalil Mack,
monsters of the midway again.
They run a 3-4. They run a 3-4. So them two guys in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle, monsters of the midway again.
Wow.
Great pick for the Bears.
Wow.
Great for the Bears. I mean, they're going to need defense because they're not going to do anything on offense.
Wow.
Was this the best case scenario for the Bears? Still having Murray on the board in the second round?
Absolutely. Straight up, yeah.
All you did was give up a 3rd for next year to go get a guy that's going to give you almost 85 tackles if he starts. Well, he's going to start day 1.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. That defense is scary already. That defense is good already. You just added another. Should have been a top 15, top 20 pick.
Mm-hmm.
You fell to in the 2nd round. You moved up, got him. Done deal.
Yep. Absolutely.
So now with the Panthers being on the clock, right, coming off of a huge number 37, what do you do at 38? McKinney's still on the board. Higgins is still on the board. Ruiz is still on the board. What do you guys do?
That was actually probably a pretty good move. The Bears jumping ahead of the Panthers, keep retiring.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But also, with McKinney still on the board, I mean, they really do need safety help bad. So
yeah.
I mean, like Trey Boston, man, doing it. So.
Yeah, Trey Boston. They released Eric Reed.
Yeah.
So
they definitely that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
I definitely can see McKinney here. You can maybe see a corner here, maybe see Gladney here, or Terrell here.
Yeah, AJ Terrell.
Terrell, yep.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, let's find out. The pick is in the A2D mock draft at number 38. The Carolina Panthers select Jalen Rager.
Wow.
Not gonna happen. Why? It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
Why do you need so much speed?
Curtis Samuel, they have DJ Moore, and they just signed Robbie Anderson. Why would they pick Jalen Rager?
So that probably means either Curtis Samuel or someone's out.
Yeah.
And the wide receivers are starting to get thin for Howie and the Eagles.
Yeah.
They got one. There's one more guy.
Man.
There's one
more
Howie
Howie
left on the board for Howie that I think would still be good, a very good pick. They got to go get him. They hope they fossil.
Yeah, the guy from Middle Tennessee State, right? Is that who it is?
Well, and Ryan just posted the comment about Howie training for Curtis Samuel. Could that be a possibility?
Yeah, I think so.
Situation, maybe.
Give me DJ Moore.
So Dolphins.
I wish DJ Moore. Go ahead. You guys can take Rager. We'll take the other small.
He's a Philly guy, so why not?
Yeah, we'll take him.
Dolphins are on the clock, number 39. What's your next move if you're Miami?
Jalen Hurts.
We just pick a name.
Just in case if Tua doesn't work.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. Come to think of it, it's not a bad idea at all.
Realistic, if I'm the Dolphins and I miss on Swift, obviously JK is still there, right? Do you go running back here with the Dolphins? I would.
I would.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to go running back, you guys know who I would.
Hilaire's still there, right? So JK's still there.
Yep.
Which one is more important or a bit of a better prospect in your eyes?
If they already have Howard, they got to get a pass catching guy.
Yep.
So why not take the top running back on my board and
he's still there.
And he's still there.
All right, gentlemen.
Home run speed.
It looks like the pick is in. Let's go to the board with the 39th pick of the A2D Radio mock draft.
You're gonna go
The Miami Dolphins select. Oh, there's a trade.
AJ Terrell.
Wow. So Kansas City gives them pick 63 and their second round pick next year in order to jump up to 39. Take the cornerback from Clemson, AJ Terrell.
That's a good move.
Love it.
That's a real good move.
Love it.
It's a great move.
Wow.
Great value.
And with that,
39.
the Houston Texans, hashtag Fire Bill O'Brien, are on the clock.
Their first pick of the draft.
It's moves like this and the fact that they're just now showing up in day 2 at number 40 is why you have to get rid of Bill O'Brien in that general manager head coach role.
Mm-hmm.
After Bob McNair died and the family has kind of let O'Brien do a lot of these moves. The Texans haven't had. I mean, I live in Houston, right? So I hear about it all the time. There's been no traction. J.J. Watt's been such a huge star, but they have Deshaun Watson, but they have nothing else. They've built nothing else around them.
Yeah.
And getting rid of one of arguably the biggest other out of the three, right? When getting rid of one of your 3 biggest players, it's probably one of the dumbest moves they've done. And people are calling for O'Brien's head.
Rightfully so.
I made a promise to my general manager. I would say on here, hashtag fire Bill O'Brien or sell the team.
Either or.
Sell the team.
Either or.
Yeah. I mean, you think about how they traded Clowney and Hopkins, and you didn't get a first round for either of them.
Right.
Nah, not even one first round.
That's a fireable offense right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
True, but now we can see Clowney's value. He may have been ahead of the game there because he's still out there.
Right.
Maybe he couldn't get a first round pick.
At the time when they traded him,
yeah,
before last year,
yeah,
But not getting one for Nuke is that's just straight out blasphemous.
Yeah.
So what do you do here?
I think T. Higgins is the best bet right now. Personally, I think T. Higgins is the new. Oh, I agree, but you have no wide receivers.
No, I don't know if it'll be a reach right now in the second round.
Oh, for me it is. I don't have Higgins until the third round.
T. Higgins
Like,
makes sense.
third round guy.
Third round's way too low.
I don't see what's special
Third
about
round.
Higgins, man.
You know who else is? You know who's
I
still
don't see
there?
what's special about Higgins.
I mean, Kenny's still there. So, I mean,
He's
right? He's still there.
All right, gentlemen. Bill O'Brien's pick is
Third
in.
round for Higgins. Chucks, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't have him. I don't have him.
What are you doing?
He's not special. Sorry, I don't see what's so special about Higgins. I'm sorry.
I mean, the guy is a physical receiver. I mean, he attacks the ball third round.
Great, cool. So that's the one thing he does well. Cool, wonderful.
Let's find out how badly the city of Houston burns. With the 40th pick of the NFL, the A2D draft, the Houston Texans select. Oh God, they traded. Oh my God! Wow. Okay, so wait a minute.
Yo, apologize to Jules right now, Chuck. Apologize right now.
Apologize for what?
There he is.
Let's recap the trade.
I can't even see it. Simulator doesn't know jack squat.
So Houston Texans give up their 44th pick and the 122nd pick.
Give it away picks now.
To give it to the Colts. The wide receiver out of Clemson. What are we doing?
Oh, Bill.
Okay,
Bill O'Brien.
Wow.
Oh, Bill O'Brien.
Oh, God help us.
I was right about the pick.
Sure
but
you were.
The wrong team.
The city of Houston just lit it all on fire.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
I
priceless.
mean,
That's priceless.
I like it.
I mean, I will say
drop
this.
back, right? They drop back, but what's the point here?
Well, I mean, I will say this with Higgins. Do I think?
I mean,
he'll
now
last
what?
the third
So
round? No, but I don't have
man,
him graded
that is,
until a third round grade. So I think
you don't
anywhere.
have anybody
around
to pair opposite. You need an outside wide receiver.
But if you wanted to like a good spot for Higgins would be Indy because he's a good complement to T.Y. Hilton. Mm-hmm. So I can see what they're doing there. To me, guys, if you want a big physical guy to play opposite T.Y. Hilton, I'm looking at other guys aside from T. Higgins. I mean, I personally like Brian Edwards more than I like T. Higgins, honestly. So, but I can see where they're going.
All right, so now you're the Browns. You're at number 41. What are you doing?
A lot of things.
Yeah.
They can do. They do.
Maybe.
I mean, McKinney's still there, so I mean.
Yeah, why is McKinney still there?
I don't know.
That's my question for you.
Cesar Ruiz?
Yeah, maybe.
They need another lineman.
Unless McKinney pulled a Joe Mixon before the draft, but.
Well, they went offensive lineman in the first round,
but they still need more.
Yeah, they definitely need more.
They need more than just one lineman.
Yeah.
They got Conklin on the right hand side. Yeah.
Well, who they got in the interior? Like,
hell if I know.
Good answer.
Well,
there you go.
They were just that bad. Their offensive line was just that bad. Just that bad.
So they could go Ruiz if they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's find out as the Browns have submitted the 41st pick in the A2D Radio mock draft.
Oh, boy.
And with that pick, they select...
What do they got?
McKinney.
There you go.
There it is.
Finally. Alabama.
Finally.
That's a steal at 42. Steal. That's a steal.
Yeah, that's a steal. That's a steal. He would be playing because they have. Don't they have Carl Joseph there?
Yeah, they brought him.
They brought him in. Right?
Yes.
He'd be paired with him.
I think they got rid of Randall.
I think so.
Yeah, Demarius Randall's a 1-year deal last offseason.
Yeah. So him and
you're getting a guy that can tackle, man. He had, like you said, 95 tackles this past season.
Mm-hmm. So here's the question, right? Because McKinney went so late in the game, even if you don't need a safety, do you pick up somebody at the caliber of McKinney, knowing he's still sitting there in, I guess, what is this, the middle of round 2?
Yeah, best player available at that point.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
BPA.
And he helps your defense instantly.
They
Just
want
take all your
starter.
fancy. Okay. All right, so now you're Jacksonville, right? McKinney's off the board. Ruiz is still there. Dobbins is on the board. Davidson's on the board. And I'm just rattling off the best picks, right? What do you guys do? Do you go defensive, offensive? Do you what position?
I think you got to go corner here if you didn't get one already.
You lost your 2 starting corners from last year. You got to go corner.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah, you have to go
go
corner.
defense
In
here.
this draft, a lot of the corners won already.
Jalen Johnson's still out there from
Jalen
Utah.
Johnson.
He's still out
He's probably the best one available right now. It's on the board.
Yeah.
Damon Arnett's really good.
Yeah, from Ohio State. So if I'm Jacksonville and I didn't get CJ Henderson in the first round, I can probably get a corner that's not as good as Okudah or Henderson, but can at least, give me some snaps.
He's a starter. Yeah, someone who can be a starter.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, well, gentlemen, Jacksonville has the pick in. Let's go to the board and find out what they do here at number 42 in the A2D Radio mock draft. And they select Curtis Weaver, defensive end out of Boise State.
Wow. They ain't no corner.
And the Chargers are on the clock.
Do they need it? I'm about to look them up. What's it? I
I'm looking
feel
it
like
up
there's
right now.
Hold on, I have their needs right here, Chuck.
Edge rushers.
They need corners, defensive line, edge rushers, offensive lines, and running backs.
Yeah, because you're gonna trade Ngakoue. So I
they're gonna trade because they'll have Josh Allen and then David Byrne on the inside.
And you lost Calais Campbell as well this offseason.
Okay, I can kind of see that, Curtis Weaver.
Who's next, Andy? Who's on the board next?
So Chargers are on the clock. What do they do?
Well, they moved back from 42, and what are they at? 45, correct?
They're at 43.
43.
They moved back from 37 to go to
37.
43.
Okay, to 43. This is tough because
same situation as before.
Yeah. Still same situation. Yeah. You obviously don't go wide receiver because you already have the weapons there, right? So you don't wide receivers out of the picture.
They got Herbert.
Do you go? Would you go Ruiz here?
Could go Ruiz.
Yeah,
maybe definitely go offensive line.
Yeah, Ruiz. Yeah, I think we mentioned that before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go offensive line.
All right, so let's go to the board, gentlemen. The pick is in. With the 43rd pick of the A2D mock draft, LA Chargers select Isaiah Wilson, OT out of Georgia.
So there you go. Offensive line.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's
now let's get. So at the beginning, at the end of the first round, right? So the Cowboys came up at 17, obviously traded back and got their guy in the first round and collected more picks. If the board is going this way, could you see the Cowboys in day 2 move up and get Ruiz?
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
He's still there.
Did you guys talk? I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you talk why picking Wilson was a good move?
Well, they need offensive linemen.
Continue. I'm sorry, I was multitasking. Continue.
Yeah, I think this value for him fits around here.
It sounds good. Yeah, they need help. I mean, Phillip Rivers couldn't even stay in the pocket for more than 2 seconds without getting dropped. So, I mean.
Exactly.
So, now we're back to my favorite situation in the draft.
Hey, trade out again, Andy.
Houston's back on the clock, right? They're obviously in the same scenario that we were in 10 minutes ago, right? For the love of God, let them pick something normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
Like you don't have a normal GM though.
Yeah. At this point, pick a janitor. I don't care.
Pick a janitor.
Now, Chuck, do you think they could go running back here, even though getting David Johnson via the Hopkins trade?
That would crack.
That would be the most Bill O'Brien thing ever.
Your star wide receiver.
Yeah, just a draft one.
The league, to get David Johnson because you wanted him so bad,
Yeah.
and then you get a running back in the second round. That would be Bill O'Brien to a T. So I can see it.
Well, then let's find out what does Bill O'Brien, in his infinite wisdom, decide to do.
Request
Taking
trade
corner
for
wide receiver.
Cleveland.
God, no.
Fingers crossed, Andy. Fingers crossed.
It's Houston Tech. I'll trade you the 44th pick for a pack of Oreos.
Trade.
Move away from that restart button. It's scaring me.
Okay.
Thank you. Jesus.
So with the 44th pick of the A2D mock draft, the hashtag Fire Bill O'Brien Houston Texans select
J.K. Dobbins.
You can't make this stuff up.
J.K. Dobbins, running back out of Ohio.
I got him right here. I got him right here.
Cue him up,
J.K. Dobbins is
Cue him
going
up.
in.
We actually have footage. Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
Bill O'Brien strikes again for Houston. Wow.
Yeah, but like at this point, like the numbers speak for themselves. What did you trade for David Johnson for?
Yeah.
Oh my God! What are we doing? I get everyone's supposed to stay at home, but people are charging at NRG Stadium right now.
Dude, something's getting burned down.
Wow.
Wow.
I hope to God that
I
this
really
happens.
have
I
nothing to
really
say.
hope this happens on day 2. I really hope so.
No. Hold on. No. I hope it doesn't.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Would any of us really be that surprised if this happened?
No.
Like, really? Would we really be that surprised?
Yo, he should get fired on the spot.
Absolutely.
On the spot.
They're on the Zoom conference call and they're just looking at him.
Well, who's going to fire him?
Yeah, McNair.
Fire him.
McNair will fire him.
He's gonna run the triple option.
All right, so
Georgia Tech.
Oh my
Right,
God.
Wow.
Tampa's on the clock.
Yeah,
I
they
can't breathe.
turn it to Navy.
Yeah, really.
Tampa's on the clock.
Wow.
What do you guys do for your Tampa? I need a minute.
That was the best pick of the
God, that's great.
That was the best clip.
That was phenomenal.
Wow.
That's awesome.
My GSM just texted me selling the fucking team.
That's awesome.
So Tampa Bay, what do they do?
Tampa Bay
Who's
will
on the clock?
offensive tackle in the first round.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't need any weapons. So they're prepared.
Jalen Johnson.
Your corners are solidified.
What's going on? What's going on?
On the clock.
Tampa Bay.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe a running back. I mean, I don't know how sold they are on Ronald Jones going into his third year. So maybe. I will say this. Tom Brady loves his pass catching running backs.
Yeah.
So maybe CEH goes here. That'd be a good spot.
Maybe.
Well, let's find out as we go to Tampa Bay for the 45th pick of the A2D mock draft.
God, that's
And they select Ross Blacklock,
Okay. Yep, so they
Okay.
went
defensive
defense.
tackle out of TCU.
Yeah.
Yep.
makes
This
sense.
is yeah.
And he's also climbing draft boards as well
Mm-hmm.
for Thursday night. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes a little bit higher than 45.
Yeah, it makes sense
Thursday
for him
night.
here. He's a second round guy, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think also Ruiz, if he's still available, would be in play.
Yeah.
Because they just need to protect Brady. Like, you know, he's not going to be able to move around a lot, obviously. So I could see them. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to back offensive line.
You said it was Ross Blacklock? Blacklock?
Yes.
Blacklock.
Easy.
He's a DT, though.
Easy.
Yep.
Yeah. And here.
Yeah, so they had the number one rushing defense last year, if I'm not mistaken. So they just made that better by bolstering the interior of that defensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, gentlemen. So that wraps up your portion here. Jake, Pete, this is the last we're going to see. Wait, bring Jake back for a second.
I don't want to be back now.
This is the last we're going to see you guys before the night's over. Real quick, Eagles are at 53. What happens? Just give me a position.
Wide receiver. Wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Jake, we appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah, this has been. Where do I talk anymore? Get me out of here. Just get me out of here.
Who's got the trigger finger, man?
Mister, we need a wide receiver, Pete Evans. Do I even need to ask?
Come on, Ryan, get in here. I'm not wanted.
It speaks for itself. It's one more left. It starts with BA. That's his initials. BA. If that's it, if that's off the board, this whole night is off. It's just off the fucking rails.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being here. Yep. We thank you for your contributions. Guys, make sure you check out Jake on the weekly roundup every week and Pete on Birds of a Feather every week and occasionally Lazy Booking. Gentlemen, we'll see you all later. Bring in Brian Brodo and Frank Vespi.
Oh, man. Wonderful. The whole
What's up, boys?
It's freaking New Year's at Brian's house.
Listen, I'm just watching the world burn.
I still can't get over the Texans pick.
I don't know either.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
So Ryan and Frank, because the rest of the gentlemen were with me for the last set. Other than the Texans' crazy mixed up round 2, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm going to try my best to say Blacklock correctly.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right, Wilson, gym, tan, and laundry. GTL.
Okay, so the Broncos have been on the clock.
Yes.
And because we're running out of time, guys, we're only going to go to 53 for the Eagles. So real quickly, guys, give me a name. And Chuck, please keep
they went wide receiver.
Not a paragraph.
Wait, we're talking about name for the Eagles right now?
No, name for the Broncos right now.
The Broncos.
Yeah, Chuck, I need a name, not like his entire
back. They took Henry Ruggs with the 15th. At 15th.
Yeah, they took Henry Ruggs.
Ruiz. Yeah.
The fact that he's still on the board.
They could go. Well, now they got AJ Boye in the offseason. I was thinking Jalen Johnson here, but they got. Well, they could go Johnson and put him on the other side where Chris Harris played because Chris Harris is gone.
Is gone, yeah.
So they could go Jalen Johnson here.
They could.
Yeah.
I think they take the best O-line available.
Yeah.
All right, so then, boys, let's find out what the Broncos do at number 46 in the A2D Radio mock draft.
Caesar.
There we go.
The center out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Good pick. Best player available. Good.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So Atlanta's on the clock.
Yeah, Atlanta's on the clock. Guys, what do you think of that move?
For the Broncos?
Yeah, is that best player available?
It's phenomenal.
Or is that an actual solid move?
Yeah, you got to protect the quarterback. You got him a weapon on the outside, and in Henry Ruggs. Then you got a way to protect him. It's perfect. It's really good.
Awesome. So Atlanta's on the clock. They're at number 47. Brodo has that scary smile happening again. Right. I feel like there's a strobe light moment.
No. It gave me a headache. I'm done with that for right now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, I could see them go with a running back on this one.
Yeah. But how far down does this simulator have him? The fact that I can't even see his name yet, it
worries me.
It worries me.
I'll phrase it like this. It should be Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
They have him at number 57.
They could go tight end here, too.
Yeah.
But who do you have this high up for tight end? Because, Jules, to be honest, tight end class this year is bad.
No.
The highest ranked tight end right there is Cole Kmet.
If you guys cut to the big board, I have the tight ends picked up.
You have Kmet, you have Hunter Bryant. Those are like the two top tees. Yeah. Bryson Hopkins, another one. Those are like your 1, 2.
Hold on. Sorry. There we go. Better.
Adam Troutman.
This could also be Matt Hennessy.
Yeah,
Mm.
it could be.
It could be Alex
Or
Mack.
Hennessy could go 48 to the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could be help in the secondary. Maybe Kyle Duggar.
Yeah.
Also, this makes sense for a trade back too.
Also.
Yeah.
Well, let's
A lot
find
of
out.
guys they can get in a little while. They don't have to take anybody here.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Andy, before you pick, can you go to wide receivers real quick just to see who's left on?
Absolutely. I'll do
for
that
wide
for you, my
receivers.
So we
friend.
got to start mapping out to see who the Eagles still have left.
No,
No.
it has to be
Oh boy.
Can I
No,
pray that they take LaVisca Chenault now? Can we just pray that they take him off so the Eagles don't take him?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Or what if we trade up to the Falcons and take Chenault?
You're not gonna see me for a while, Frank.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Until
All right,
Wednesday.
Let's find out what the Falcons do at number 47 in the A2D mock draft. They select Jalen Johnson, cornerback out of Utah.
Good
Nice.
pick, Pete.
Rising. He is rising. I feel like the NFL likes him more than like the consensus of the media. I could see Jalen Johnson being like a late first round pick. He's got good tape. He's got really, really good tape.
Mm-hmm.
So was this the right decision to go cornerback here, or would you have gone a different position? Not necessarily the person, right? Because we know that this is a good pick, but would you have gone a different position?
I don't mind it.
No,
I think you do. The position is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know one of their secondary members is now in Detroit, so they missed some pieces there. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
And sometimes in the second round, teams already got their needs in the first, right? So you come back in the second, you just basically do,
Also
best
that
player
depth
available
a
at that point in the second round, whatever you did in the first.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So now you're the New York Jets. You've been gone from the party for a little bit.
Matt Hennessy, right here. Matt Hennessy is my pick right there to the Jets. Matt
And you
Hennessy.
guys,
You
Matt
got your
Hennessy?
superstar and Jerry Jeudy. Get yourself some O-line.
Yep.
Yep. Matt Hennessy. He's your center for the next 10 to 12 years.
That means they're going to take Brandon Ayuk here.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
All
the
right.
local guy. Get the local guy, man, Hennessy.
So guys, it sounds like the pick is in. Let's go to the board with the 48th pick of the A2D Radio mock draft.
Hennessy's not even.
The New York
Cushenberry's
Jets
there, too.
select Julian
Julian Okwara.
Okpara,
So they still didn't do any
defensive end out of
offensive
Notre
line.
Dame.
Yeah, it's hard to believe they would take him there. I don't have a Quora that high. No, I would go some type of offensive line.
Yeah, no, I don't like that
Yeah.
pick at all.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Or
either.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, poor Sam.
Yeah, poor Sam.
Yeah.
He'll be running for his life.
Still no help.
Yeah. Still no help. Last year he got mono, and he also saw some ghosts. So
he's going to be seeing a few
problems keep on racking up for him.
Gonna see a few birds this year.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, the Steelers are on the clock. Number 49. I think this is the first time we've actually talked
This is their-
Steelers football.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Steelers are up on the clock. The
So we-
Rams are coming
They
up.
traded their pick this year for Minka.
It was the Minka trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you do?
I like
You're
wide
late to-
receiver. I also like this could be a running back. Or if they want to get cute and they want to go Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, Jacob Fromm. I mean, those two, they're trying to move on from Big Ben.
So now,
they trust in Mason Rudolph or Duck. So let's.
So now, and Chucks, I'll ask you, right? On Thursday, do you see them moving up, trying to move up to get into the first round?
I'd have to see how many picks they have or the assets they have to do so.
I'll tell you. They have. The Steelers have 6 picks.
I don't think they'll have
yeah,
enough assets.
it's going to be tough.
So I think they would just stick. I mean, because the second round has good value, as you can see.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to go, exactly how it went, but there will be really, really good prospects that fall to the second round.
Yeah.
So if you have a second round pick there, you're still getting good players.
This could also be D-line because they lost Hargrave.
They did, yeah.
But no, I mean Ayuk makes sense if they're going receiver, to be honest. Or even a guy like LaVisca Chenault, to where they don't need him to step in right away, but he has obviously a high ceiling.
Jules, real quick, because I'm hearing that we have the pick in, Jules. What do you got? Who do you got them taking?
I'm taking a receiver here.
You do have them taking a receiver here?
Taking a receiver.
All right. Well, let's find out who, right, and how bad the Steelers look. At the 49th pick, the Steelers take...
Please not Ayuk.
An outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
From Michigan, Joshua
Uchi.
Uchi.
Man, but that seems like the total Steelers pick too. Like
it is.
Yeah,
the outside linebacker edge guy.
Well, remember last year they moved up from what was it, 20 or something like that? They moved up 10 spots.
Yeah.
To go get Devin Bush last year.
And that's something they never do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bears are on the clock. Right? They had a huge move a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What do you do as we come to the end of our draft? What do you do?
Quarterback, maybe?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Are they looking to really pack up that defense and just play like, defensive?
Well, that's great.
Because if so, you're going to go defense again here.
Go defense again?
They also took a wide receiver here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is with their wide receivers, I know they let go of Taylor Gabriel. They have Allen Robinson. But his name just completely Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller is a really good slot receiver. Mm-hmm. They have yet to really incorporate him and know how to use him. So, I mean, it's not like I don't think wide receiver is a glaring need. They have two talented guys.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know what they plan to do with this. This offense, are they going to go are they going to stick with Michipu? Or are they gonna go with Foles? Like, what are they gonna do? I don't know.
Honestly, I could see them going Kyle Duggar here as well because they only have one pick, really. Eddie Jackson. They didn't re-sign Clinton Dix, so I could see that as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's find out. With the 50th pick of the A2D Radio mock draft, the Chicago Bears select.
Not Ayuk, please, not Ayuk.
John Simpson.
Guard from Clemson.
Guard out of Clemson.
Yeah. Keep Nick Foles healthy.
3 more picks.
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. Not that anybody cares.
Who do they pick?
They need a center, and Laurie Cushenberry's still there.
Cushenberry, Penny's there.
That's got to be the pick for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. That's the pick. It should at least it should be the pick.
It should be. Go ahead.
All right. Never mind. Answered my question. The 51st pick of the A2D Radio mock draft, the Dallas Cowboys pick Gabriel Davis.
What?
Wow.
What is going on?
That's great for us.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Good for us. Yeah.
They got two reaches.
And by the way, the Rams are on the clock.
Oh man.
Davis
is like I have him like a 4th round pick, maybe. I'm not that high on Davis. Jules, are you like? Do you have him like the day 2? Yeah, no. I don't.
No. And he won't even sniff day 2 if he's lucky.
I mean, you take Van Jefferson over him.
Yeah, all day. All day. That is a huge reach. I hope they do that.
So here's another team that just showed up to the party in the Rams, right? So again, right, late to the party. Everybody's pretty hammered at this point. What do you do?
Everything.
Yeah, they lost. They need a linebacker. They need a ton of defensive pieces, and they need another wide receiver to replace.
They need a corner.
They need a corner too.
They need a safety.
But remember, so as the
I think they're okay at safety. They took Taylor Rapp last year.
I forgot. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I forgot about
and John Johnson is
sorry. Yeah, I forgot about him.
But no, linebacker, they lost Littleton.
I think they go for Zach Bond.
I
forgot about Bond is there.
He's still there.
I mean, especially where that he did fail a what was it? It was like a
dilated test.
He diluted the test. Maybe that will factor into his drop, but we'll see.
So, gentlemen, let's find out.
Good pick for them.
With the 52nd pick in the A2D Radio mock draft, the Rams select Zach Bond.
Bond.
Way to
Yeah.
go.
Nice.
There you go,
Outside
Frankie.
linebacker from Wisconsin.
And
I
here we
picked
go.
Jonathan Taylor and I picked Zach Bond. All right.
Here we go with the Eagles.
Please, Ayuk. Come on.
So,
Ayuk.
Has to be Ayuk.
Yeah, it's got to be Ayuk. I don't even like him that much, but it's got to be Ayuk.
I really
why
like
does it have to be Ayuk?
Because they need a freaking receiver, Andy.
Ah,
And your receiver.
Ayuk to
That
me is someone who has the high upside, high potential.
Yeah.
If he give him a few years to figure out how to refine his route running and deal with contact better, you're talking about someone who could be an elite wide receiver. He has all the physical skills. He just needs time. He's not polished enough yet.
And that's why I don't like him.
Exactly.
Because of
But if you miss out at round one, who else is going to be available?
No, I hear you. Like I said, you take him here, but I don't like it. But you have to take him here. But I don't like it.
Yeah.
all right, well, gentlemen, let's find out.
Let's get our receiver.
Final pick of the night.
Final
There's
pick.
my picture. The final pick of the night.
Ayuk,
Number 53 of the A2D Radio mock draft
It's going to be
is
Friggin'
It's going to
Hennessy.
be LaVisca. It's going to be
Marlon
Davidson.
Davidson.
What are we doing?
Two defensive linemen.
This mock is messed up.
Who left? Did everybody leave?
Wow.
No. Y'all bring your asses
I'm
back.
here.
Come back here. I can't do this on my own.
Wow.
Pro Football Network mock draft simulator is officially busted. Busted.
No wide receiver from motherfucker.
That's so dumb.
No, not happening.
Now, can we fire Howie?
I mean, look at the bright side. We know it's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
And we know it's a computer.
So, what does that mean for?
Howie's out of a job, and
Howie's out of a job.
Just stare at the pot.
Howie would not take two defensive ends, two edge
Well,
players.
he didn't take.
back to back. He would not do that.
He took an outside linebacker.
That's
It's an edge rusher.
Edge
Put
rusher.
all into the same damn thing.
And already we're adding more to our already deep defensive line by adding another D line. Great. It's like
Thank God we got that out of the way. Thank God we got all that out of the way, so the real stuff can happen.
Jeez.
I just can't believe that.
No,
I can't believe it's not butter.
Busted. There's no Howie. I can bet you my life savings that this would not happen.
It's not going to happen.
Take your life savings. Well, gentlemen, this has been 53 picks of what we hope doesn't happen on Thursday as the draft comes to night one comes to us live Thursday. We'll be doing a reaction show for it, wouldn't we?
Yes. Yep.
So, what time is it? And don't ask me because I'm in Central. So, East Coast. What time does it start?
8.
8 o'clock.
So we'll probably be coming on probably around 7:30.
All right, we'll be on. They'll be on 7:30. I think it's another roundtable style, isn't it?
Yep. Ton of guys.
Awesome. Guys, we hope you enjoyed everything. Let's start. So first of all, you guys heard the jingle earlier in the show. That was made by a very good friend of mine, DJ Blackjack. If you're in the Houston area and you need parties, weddings, anything like that done, he's your man.
Houston.
We'll go to Ralph and then we'll go to Frank.
Yeah, so we got our gutter guys over at Energy Services. Gutter Clean, you can find them at 856-879-5530. That's 856-879-5530.
Well, after witnessing those picks, I definitely need some therapy. And that's why I go to Specialized Physical Therapy LLC with their 3 locations in Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. Make them yours. And we recommend you to Dr. Paul Vidal.
Okay. Guys, for everybody here at A2D Radio, for Tom, Wilson, Pete, Jake, Chucks, Frank, Ralph, Jules, Brodo, I hope to God I didn't miss anybody. It's been a long night.
Yeah, it was fun.
We thank you guys for sticking through with us.
3 hours. Good job, guys.
We want to thank everybody that put all their hard work into making this happen for you guys. And make sure to check out everything this week as we start draft week. This is the official kickoff for draft week here at A2D Radio. We'll see you guys later.
Yep. See you guys.
See you.